aggressive. Say it with my chest, bitch, so they get the message. I don't mean to text best if you just look away. So I make your head twist like an exorcist.
What's poppin', Trey TV gang? It's your boy Trey TV.
And it's your boy Lamar Wilson.
And we back at you with another video. With this one, we got a live interview from Mesus. We coming straight off his reaction. We did the album. We thought it was fire. We just did the music video, Pale Horses. We thought that was fire. Now we got the man who helped create the project that we listen to, that we react to. What's going on, Mesus?
What's happening, fellas? How you doing?
We doing good. All right. Can't complain. We're glad to actually have you on our platform. We've been doing interviews. We haven't done one in a while. It's nice to get back in the ring and do some interviews and talk to somebody like yourself. And I like your background in the back, the whole Mesus thing in the background.
My homie made that. He just surprised me with it one day. He's just like,
that's dope. We got some feng shui.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's definitely dope. We were talking to you behind the scenes. yeah. We were talking to you behind the scenes about a little bit about your situation. Can you tell us where you from?
Well, I'm from Chicagoland area originally, and then I moved to St. Louis like 4 years ago when I got married.
Okay.
My wife lived there, and a year ago we moved to the Nashville area, so that's where we're at now.
All right, cool. I heard you said that you was in Chicago. This is where you and Adam met at?
Yeah. Well, we went to the same school. We knew the same
elementary, middle school, high school. How far back was
high school?
Yeah, I met in high school.
We knew the same friend groups, and we actually met at like an open gym. Playing ball.
You got ball game? You play ball too?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. That's what's up. You learn something new.
Learn something new every day.
See, you know,
I'm
not just a fan, dude. I'm not just a fan. I'll get out there.
Okay.
My days, I'm a little, you know, I spend more time cussing and bitching and running, you know, because I can't do what I used to do. But yeah, I still got a jumper at least, probably. Hopefully.
Yeah. I want to say I see that you guys are working with the reactors. We're independent. Y'all independent. I just seen Clickbeat post a picture with you and Adam. How did that situation come about that we got that picture?
Well, Cliff, he lives in the Chicagoland area too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he didn't mind me telling. I don't think he did. He always wears the White Sox hat, so I'm saying, you know, that was, I kind of, you know, like you kind of know like where you grow up around. You kind of, I watched him a couple times. I'm like, this fucking guy's got to be from here, man. Like you get the accent a little bit. And always wearing.
I would never figure that out.
I would never figured it out.
Nah, I would never thought that he was in Chicago. That is crazy.
I asked him and I said, and he was like, yeah, oh shit, and so yeah. I hit him up and because he's reacted to some of my stuff too, and he was like, "Yeah, bet, let's get it." And he's like, "Actually, I'm supposed to do something on Monday, you know, with Adam or whatever." Yeah. And I was like, "Well, I'm with Adam." So
I'm with Adam right now. We together right now.
Yeah. I'm like sitting next to him while I'm responding to you. So.
Oh yeah, that is definitely dope. Definitely a question we wanted to ask you since we're reacting to the album is, who idea was it to do the album? How did that whole thing come about that me and Adam were about to work on the album together? How did that conversation get started? Like, who came to who about that idea?
I guess you would have to say I did, like, originally, because it was, but you're going back 6 years ago.
Wow.
We were literally just working out at the gym.
Okay.
And he was talking. He had just did a project that like doesn't get a lot of light, and it's kind of a project he don't want to talk about. So I'm not going to talk about it. It's if you know, you know. It's with another artist that he shall remain nameless. That, you know, I mean, he did his thing on. It's just not a good situation. Anyway, whatever. So after that was done, we were at the gym just working out. It's kind of like he finally kind of like got back into making music again and got his feet wet. Yeah. And I said, damn, man, I'm like, shit, we should fucking make an album. And he was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And we were like working out, but he was like, but I feel like I should do like a solo one first because like I just came off of the other one.
Mcdonald and him.
It's gonna and it wasn't like, if that's not Tom, just to be clear. This is 6 years ago with a dude that whatever. He just ended up not being a very good person, so that's why he shall remain nameless. You know.
Okay,
but,
okay. We not
no
putting
light
no
on the
light on that
situation.
situation.
yeah,
At all.
yeah. It's not and nothing. Whatever. I just don't want to give a guy any whatever, man.
Yeah.
So he said that, and I was like, true. You're like that. You don't want to like that would make more sense to your audience and everything. So
Yeah.
so that was what he ended up doing, which was Americal, the first album, which I'm actually on,
Right.
but my name was my government name, Cosetti, my last name Cosetti. So if you look on, I think it's track 9, Sunset. That's actually me on that album. A lot of people don't know that because it doesn't say Mesus.
They know now.
They know now.
There you go. Yeah. So actually, and that song was like one of my songs, and we remixed it because Adam was just like, "Yeah, I love that one song here, da da da." And I said, "All right, well, let's just remix it and throw it on the album."
Yeah, we hear stuff like that all the time. Even I don't know if you know about Young Buck, with 50 Cent first album. The Get 'em Buck, the unit, that's my name. That it sounded like the whole situation with Young Buck and 50 Cent. Young Buck had a song, 50 Cent heard it, and he's later added that song onto the album. It sounds like it's a situation that you having with you and Adam. Is that the same type of situation? Am I reading it wrong?
Kind of. It was just we were trying. You know, he wanted me to get on the project, and he had heard that song before he did Americal, and so that was kind of where it was just like, do you want to remix that one and do that one because he really liked that one? And I was like, sure, you know, we can do that. So.
And what song was that off the album?
It's called Sunset. Dying on his second album was pretty much the same situation. That was another one of my songs that we ended up remixing. Dying had like kind of like 2 verses, but kind of 4 verses too, because like we both went twice.
Yeah, okay.
So like back to back, then there was a hook, then back to back, and the hook, and then it ended. And the original version of that was just me for all 4 of them parts. So actually 2 of those parts I took off. I ended up putting on another song of mine called Chaos. So that ended up being the first 2 verses of Chaos, and then I wrote another verse to like end the song off.
All right, no wasted bars. No wasted bars.
It's crazy how shit comes together sometimes, man. And then sometimes, you know, it's like sometimes it's like that, and then sometimes it's everybody gets together and it's on the spot, and then other times it's like you're sending files from halfway across the country because you're working on different. So it's never a one size fits all for a song.
Yeah,
you know?
nah, it's definitely not, and I definitely understand, and I definitely respect it. To go back to a question I asked you earlier about the Cliff Beat situation, in the picture, can we be expecting interviews from that situation, or did y'all guys just get up for a photo shoot?
Oh, Cliff, yeah, nah, me and Cliff gonna sit down. I'm not sure when. We'll probably wait till, since I'm in Illinois so much, we'll probably just wait till that happens. You know, I doubt it'll be online, but it might be this way. But,
Yeah.
You know,
it'll be dope if it be that way. We know Cliff Beats platforms is a little bit bigger than ours, and I think y'all guys need more people knowing what y'all got going on, because what y'all got going on is dope. We're real hip hop heads. We're real hip hop. We came up on that real. You know, so we say, yo, this is dope. You feel what I'm saying? It's definitely dope music, and like we was telling you, we're listening to everything that's going on. Like, there's not a song that can drop on this planet or Mars or Pluto that we're not going to know about. So we know about all the music that's coming out, and we'll be hearing from you guys. We definitely like it. That's why we wanted to interview you, to bring more light to what y'all doing, because we think what y'all doing is dope right now.
What y'all doing is hella dope. I got a question. Can you walk us through your creative process, like from the concept to completion?
Wait, hold on. Before you answer that, let's just keep it to the album, Pale Horse album. Like, what was what was it like doing the Pale? What was
that was kind of a different way than I normally do. Normally, well, not necessarily. Yeah, it was different than I normally do. Like, this was much more, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. You know, as far as the putting the album together. So in other words, what I mean by that is we're gonna select beats. Okay. And find kind of a sound, because you got 2 people collabing. You gotta find a place that fits for both of you guys. in that moment too, because you know what sound you might have been rocking with a year ago might have evolved a little bit or whatever. You know, so it's a lot of that moving parts. Thankfully, I really believe God has always had his hand in my life and in my career and everything. So, you know, like I said, 6 years ago was when we first started talking about it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It didn't happen because it was just the movement of life. Things were going on in his career and other things going on in my life and my career. So it just wasn't a good time. And then 2020, we talked about doing it again. He brought it back to the conversation at that point, and I was like, I don't think straight up, and this is one thing nobody can ever say like I'm a clout chaser or I'm a a coattail rider or any of that bullshit, man. Because like I'm day one with somebody from that's one of the biggest artists in our independent lane in the country, literally, like, and I never tried to like use that, I guess you would call it, you know what I mean? Because when it came to 2020, the beginning of 2020, that was when that conversation was like, yeah, we need to get that in. And I was like, I straight up was just like, I don't think God just wants me to do it right now, bro. And like, that's how I move, you know? And it wasn't like anything towards him. It was just like, and I didn't know because I told him right towards the end of 2019. That's when he started, like, we need to get that. He was finishing Billy Goat, and that was kind of like, let's get it right after that. Okay. And that's when I told him. And, you know, I was praying about it, but I just felt like it was like God was, and what's crazy, nobody knew what was going to happen in 2020, including me not knowing I was going to meet my wife January of 2020 and get married.
Big year for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had enormous changes happen at the same time that we would have started to work on that. And I can't see around that corner. I don't have that bird's eye view, but I just felt like God was showing me like, nah, this ain't the right time. Right. And, you know, it ended up taking another 4 years. And that's cool because to me, it gave me a lot of time to kind of learn the game, make some mistakes, do some things right. Yeah. Same with him. And now when we sat down to kind of bring it back to that, like, it was very like, it wasn't either one of us wasn't like, no, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like, it was a very like joint effort, you know, and we were really like landing on the same beats as far as like, nah, I really like this one. And we found a sound together. We found a direction for the project together. Yeah. And then, you know, once we had some beats selected, that's when we started just, you know, focus. All right, let's get kind of like a one. It took a while to get, we wrote like 3 or 4 songs, I think, before we finally like kept one. Yeah. So and like,
I mean, when you listen to the album, you can almost tell that the beat selections were done together. It sounds like it's almost very interesting to me to have two minds find a happy medium like that.
Yeah. Well, so okay, like funny thing is, first single we dropped, Mirrors, that one that's a beat. That's a beat that I had since that's a beat since I had since 2021. I've had that beat just yeah, I bought that beat from Trunks. Shout out to Trunks. And I bought that beat from him on the way I was driving. And that's what I do. People a lot of times will ask me like what kind of music. I don't listen to music. I listen to beats. I'm always listening to new production. Like I'm always trying to find new tracks, new producers, new whatever. So I'm always doing that. And so I don't listen to music. I don't listen to my shit. Once it's done, it's out. I don't listen to it because I don't listen to it 1,000 times. Yeah. It's like I mean I might listen to it very, very rarely, but most of the time I don't because I'm a perfectionist and I'll sit there and pick apart and be like, I could have did that bar better. I'm always like, I'll think of a rhyme scheme that would have like, man, this would have rhymed better if I said it this way. Like I'll drive myself nuts. So I just I put it out and I try to just like here.
Pick it out. Yeah.
What is your sign?
Oh, like I'm a Sagittarius. I was born in December. Sagittarius.
All right, okay, cool. You were just sounding like me because when it comes to reactions, I would not watch none of my reactions. This guy would watch every one of them. Because I'm like you. I'm like, I was there during the reaction. I know exactly what was in the reaction. I was there when I recorded it. So there's no reason for me to look over it.
Yeah, I go back and analyze.
Look at it and all that type of stuff. Because I'm like you, like I could have did X, Y, and Z. I missed this. I did that.
I'll take my shit apart and drive myself nuts. I will drive myself nuts. I will have. Yeah. That's why it's even difficult for like reactors when so when my stuff first caught, like I didn't even know what reacting was, none of this stuff. Yeah. And so I don't know, like it's like, and then I started watching them and I was like, yo, it's kind of cool. But then I was also feeling like I'm hearing my stuff again, and I almost caught myself because if people don't catch like certain things that I put in, I get like frustrated. I'm like, man, what the fuck, man? And then I'm like, did I say it wrong or did they miss it? You know, or whatever. And like, and so I had to get past that. And I had to just like appreciate, like, man, this is dope that people are actually like, they just want to check out my music. And then once I did it from like a fan perspective, I guess you would call it, instead of like an artist perspective, that's when it became fun. But at first, man, I was like, I didn't want to watch them. I was like, man, I'm gonna get mad, bro. Like they're mixing bars and shit, bro. Like that was the best genius bar ever, or whatever. You know, I had to get out of my like artist head and just be like, shut up, man. Like just enjoy it. You know, enjoy that. Like people are like gravitating to the music and rocking with it, and want to, like you said, want to get it more attention and shit. So it's so now I'm like excited. I get happy about it. I'm like, man, that's dope, bro. Because you guys are like the new school DJs, bro. It's like
that's how we look at it. We're like
you guys are the DJs, man, pointing it out to people, so.
And that's why we can't wait till we get to the level that we want to get on, because it's like so much stuff we want to bring attention to that we don't feel like we're in position yet to bring attention to. There's a lot of dope music out there. So like a lot of dope artists out there. But to me, it seems like most of the dopest artists is underground artists. What's being pumped to us on mainstream is it's just not what it is right now. We all hear it. We all know like, but it's a lot of like people thinking hip hop is dead. It's like, no, mainstream is dead. Hip hop is not dead. It's just all in who being force fed to us. They're dead. Right. But there's still a lot of dope artists out here that's doing their thing, and that's a good thing that we get a chance to be reactors. We get a chance to check it out, because if we wasn't reactors, there's a lot of music we would have never listened to. Yeah. If it wasn't reactors, we would never checked out your album. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's I've heard that from so many people that started doing reacting, and I mean, it's part of me like wants to do it myself a little bit every now and then, because I'm like, I think that would be fun for that element, just because I like to discover new, because again, I don't listen to, so if I listen to music in my car all the time, I'm writing beats, I'm writing songs, I'm just always, so it's like, it's kind of like, that's why people like, you don't listen to me. I'm like, no, because it's like what I do for a living. So like, you need to have a time of just quiet and not like, you know, like, I mean, from the second I wake up to the second I go to bed, it's on my phone, social media, it's I got to make more content to promote this, or I got to do this, or I got to do it. And if I'm not doing that, then I got to stop talking like I'm Italian and moving my hands, because it's blurring the mic, blurring the camera. But like I definitely always it's like there's always noise. So it's like for me, I need like what it's like. What do you mean all this business? Like I need some quiet.
Right.
I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you, and I understand you. Something that stuck out to me in the statement that you just made. You said you'd be riding around in your car listening to beats. When we heard the album, I call it an album. It seemed like an album that was made to listen to in your car. There's a difference between an album that you could listen to in your car and the album you could listen to on your regular time. Like a lot of the beats sound like stuff it was meant to be
for your car.
For the car, when you riding around, something good to listen to. Was that what you was trying to do with the album? Or was trying to go with the album?
Yeah. That's I gotta credit Adam for that. As far as like, Adam is always I'm an artist. Adam's kind of more of a he thinks more about the other, like the people, the listener. You know what I'm saying? Like he's more listener focused. I'm more in the art. A lot of my music, if you really dive into it, is very personal. Yeah. And that's dope for like, I hate using any kind of words, but like the super fan, I guess, that's dope because they really appreciate that. They really get to know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not to say that Adam doesn't do that. He does it really well, but he also like, he's very aware of like the business side, I guess you would say. Trunks, he's the one that made the Mirrors beat. I found him because he makes like a lot of kind of like NF, you know, what do they call that? Like big.
And it's wild you say that, because when we were listening, we was like, this kind of feels NF-ish just a little bit. One of them tracks.
Mirrors.
Mirrors.
Yeah, just all I was saying was the Trunks thing. The Trunks thing is crazy because he makes like these NF, you know, cinematic kind of type tracks or whatever, which are.
We gotta stop you right there. We gotta stop you right there, because when we heard the song Mirrors, the first thing we said to us, this sound NF-ish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We when you hear that
like it sounds like some World War Z type.
Yeah.
Trunks has produced like 50% of my stuff since like 2018 or something, 2019. Like
it makes sense.
I found him, and I just gravitated to that sound, and I just found this nice little pocket to kind of, you know, my voice fit in well and everything. That said, and NF, even a lot of NF stuff, his stuff is not riding, you know, have in the car. I feel like some of his new stuff on Hope kind of went that direction, and but I mean, in general, he makes more like music that you just sit there and you gotta like absorb, and you gotta, you know, it's not just roll the windows down and just let the whole neighborhood.
Like the project didn't sound like NF.
Right.
Mirror sounded like NF. Like Tommy heard it. Like, but my next question to you will have to be: was you worried about people saying that you was copying the NF sound when you recorded that?
I've been doing that for that sound is. I've been on my whole. Like I said, you go back to 2018, 2019. 2020, my Dear Rap, Trunks did almost the entire project. Like, I don't really care if people say that, because one, I think it's you know, shout out to Tommy Prophet for creating that sound. That's his producer, that or one of them at least. They kind of created a new sound, and I think it's no different than a down south sound or something that was created and then people rapped on it. East Coast boom back, the people rapped on, or you know, the funk sound of the West or whatever. Like that's all. It just they really spearheaded kind of a new type of sound. And I just thought it's a dope sound. So I found a pocket that I felt comfortable in working on those kind of tracks. But they're not. But that said, it's not super induced like for like replayability. It's more that like, damn, it's so much to absorb. And I made a lot of 3-verse track. Like you go back to my first stuff, dating pretty much all my stuff. I'm making these 3.5-4 minute songs. You know, like that's an hour for people nowadays. Like they're like, well, I don't got 3-verse attention span and all, you know. And so Adam understands that, and it's like I said, you know, so it's like the album is more like you can put it in on the ride to work, and by the time you get to work, it's over. You know what I mean? But it's not because it's like a whack or weak album. It's just that's what it is nowadays. People, there's so much music, so much content, so much.
Right.
Well, you gotta understand you can't give people too much, because it's like the less is more kind of thing. Like it makes people, you know, want to hear more versus like, I loved what I heard, but like I don't want to hear it again for like a year because it's like it was so much, you know. So that's what I mean by that was more Adam's like beat selection direction. I would say. So that's how that came.
Well, we can't say when we did the reaction before we reacted to the album, the first thing we did was look at the songs, the amount of time it was to take the reaction, and then we looked at how much time was each song. And you pointed out to me it's only like one song that's like 4 minutes. The rest is 3 or 2 minutes, and that makes sense behind the way that you're basing it. So that's why I'm glad we actually getting to talk to you, because it's all stuff that we noticed, and then you're just like
reconfirm, putting your stamp on it. Like, that's exactly what I was trying to do.
The riding music, the amount of time. Well, like when we see a 2-minute song, we call that the TikTok era.
It is.
Because that's a lot of the songs came from. And when we looked at it, it's like, he got like a lot of 2-minute songs on this album. It stood out.
It jumped off the screen
because we don't come from that era. We come from your era where songs is 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Might even get a 6-minute video.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
I got a 6-minute spoken word. It's like one of my most
So you understand everywhere that we come. We're not from the era of the two. I think I got a song that's 2 minutes and 21 seconds. We don't come from that era of seeing a song. It's more of the newer generation because, like you said, we understand the people attention span. They can't even stay that long on task for it, and then they move on to something else.
There is no span. There's no span. It's not even. There's not even a span anymore. There's not a span. It's like a measure. Not even a span. You can't even necessarily. You can't even when you got people's attention. You don't got their attention. They're still like on the phone or I mean, it's just. It is real, and that's the thing is, I'm one of them people where I'm like, well, fuck that, I don't care. Like I'm staying true to who I am. I'm not saying Adam ain't, you know what I'm saying, by doing it the other way, but Adam is more the well, let's do it the way it works. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I'm trying to give people what they want, and if they don't want 4 minutes, why am I gonna fucking? Now that's 2 songs. I just. You know, and then it also comes into like, there's other things like that come into account, like it kind of shoots you in the foot. There's a lot of things that like it's a roll of the dice. Now on the flip side, you'll have me. I'm like the artist advocate. I won't say the devil's advocate, but I'm the artist. I'm the artist advocate that'll go, yeah, well, NF's killing this shit, and his songs are 4 minutes. You know, Jelly's killing this shit right now. His songs are 4 minutes, or I'll do that. I'll throw. What about this? What about this? But then it's like that's the exception. That's the guys that, first of all, they build a crazy fan base. Tom, I can say Tom's pretty. His songs are still 3, 3.5. You know, whatever. Like he's still in that. So it's like, but it's Adam. I already know he would just respond back with something like, well, yeah, but they already created that. They have their audience. If you're actually kind of still new on the scene, you're still like, you got to understand what. It's just like if you meet somebody for the first time, you're not like, hey, how you doing? And then you just like. Tell them your whole damn life. I mean, we're talking, but you don't. You hey, what's up? Hey, what do you do? Oh, that's cool. Blah blah blah. And you kind of, oh, nice day today. And okay, all right, man. And then you know you move like that's kind of more like, and it makes sense and it works. It does work, and there's a reason why Adam's very smart. You know what I mean? He is when it comes to this kind of stuff, he understands what works and again, it's not like he's like being something he's not. He's just understanding what works and then applying that, you know, instead of trying to force feed something that might work
anymore.
Might work,
but the odds are very slim. And so
it makes sense.
Question I definitely wanted to ask you is, me and this guy next month it'll be 2 years. We've been reacting to videos together. It's been times where we have bump heads. We almost came to blows right here in this studio. So the thing I want to ask you with you and Tom, because people think differently. You want to go this direction. Adam might want to go this direction. In the album, was there any like bumping heads? Like I want to go here. No, we should do this. Like you said, Tom was saying we should do this. You think it should be more of that? Was there any bumping heads at any point during the making of this album?
Well, I'm assuming you meant Adam. You said Tom, but
I said it. I called myself. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Like, I mean,
I know it.
It's the reality.
We're very, you know, we dig our heels in, man. Both of us, you know. So it's very me so more than him probably when it comes to like coming off of something. And I think it's not even intentional. It's just I have a very like. You know, like I don't know, man. I'm just that's part of my wiring. I'm very. It's not like even a stubborn thing. It's just like once I have, well, we're both super passionate, but like once I got like I'm gonna like this is the way I want to do something. It's kind of like almost an OCD tick or something where it's like I can't not do it that way. I have to do it that way. You know what I mean? It's like reality is no, there's 1,000 other ways you do it, but for whatever reason, my brain is like, but this is, you know, and so that, you know, and Adam's kind of opposite of it in that way. So that kind of drives him nuts. And then there's things he'll do that I'll drive him, you know. But I mean, nothing to the point where we were actually about to like go to war over it, but we were definitely, there was some.
Did the voices get, did the voices get poisoned?
Yeah, there was some elevated voices and some tension. You know, but that's all in good. You know, it's because mostly you're just trying to. You both got the same goal. You both want.
That means I care.
Yeah,
That means
you both
care.
Want,
when me and him when me and him would go at it, I would be like, yo, bro, we're not actually going at it. That just means we both care about the product that we're trying to put out.
Yeah.
If there's no arguing, that's the issue, because I mean no one's really caring about the product. But if two people are in the same space and then we're disagreeing, I mean we both care about how this product is going to turn out at the end of the day.
And 99% of the time it's miscommunication, bro. Like that's when people disagree is usually like I saw one of the dopest videos I saw years ago. I was just a long time ago, but it was I feel like it was at like a job that I was at, and there was like orientation. I mean, I'm talking about like one of them old corny videos they show you during orientation or something. But like,
right.
Yeah, like it was just terrible, you know. But like, it actually made a great point that like there was like me here, and then someone like there was a ball like in between them, and then there was a person on the other side. And right down the middle of the ball, like picture like a basketball, and like right down the middle of it here. Actually, I'll give you. I'm visual. I'll give you a
basketball right there. Ain't really a ball.
I got a basketball right here. Shout out to Vicky V.
He's a baller. He's a baller. Who's that? Who that with the autograph?
Dick Vitale, man. He
Dick Vitale.
What about the Georgetown Warriors or not? No, Dick Vitale,
the commentator.
He passed away, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's still living.
Oh, okay.
And he said, Mesus is awesome, baby. God
bless. Awesome, baby.
It's awesome.
So, but
that's his line.
So you picture this ball. You see how it's got this line down the middle, right? You know what I mean? Like here, like if I held it like this and say this whole side that you guys see is orange. You know, I know it's got white stuff, but say it was all orange, but my whole side is white. And the illustration was like, I'm sitting there and they ask me what color is the ball, and I'll be like white, and they'll be like it's orange, and it's because it's perspective. It's just a perspective, like and both people are right, but it's and so that's the thing is like both of us want this album to come out crazy. Both of us think, you know, but it's like you have two different perspectives of how that's going to end up happening. And you're like, what are you talking about? Because it's just like,
right.
Then you come around to it takes one person being willing to like take a step back, say, okay, hold on. And there was times when I had to do that, and there was times when he had to do that, but we did that together, and that's how the project came together. Shout out to Diggy B, man. That was super cool.
Shout out to him. We grew up on him. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody know him.
Awesome, baby.
It's awesome, baby.
The Kansas Kentucky games.
Yeah. That is dope. Next question I definitely got to ask you is, you say you switched up the name from this to that. What made you go to Mesus, and where does that name come from? Because when we was up here reacting to the album, I had a hard time pronouncing it. I'm like, is it Mesus? It looked like Jesus with an M. I'm gonna say it's Mesus. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Can you let me know?
You are. It's Mesus.
Right? And how did you come up with that?
So kind of along, you know, when I first started, like the first nickname I ever had was just like Charlie, also because as a kid, my name's Charles. My grandparents called me Charlie when I was a kid, and that kind of stuck with me. And then like growing up, I kind of got tagged the name Hustle, and so that kind of went along with Charlie.
Let me stop you right there. The only time you get the name Hustle, you hustling. What you hustling? It just passes statute of limitations.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Say less.
But you know, then I started kind of thinking about rap. Like, man, I want to do this, and every rapper's got a rapper name, and so I came up with this name Devious, which meant dope vocal skills, like DVS, but it was like a acronym, I guess, or whatever.
Well, vocal skills, yeah, makes sense.
And that was it for like a couple years maybe, and then I gave my life to God, bro. Like if you ever want to watch my testimony on my page, that's super cool. Like that kind of tells the whole story of that. But
I mean, for the people people that watch us, that's seeing you on a platform, can you break that down real quick on a little bit of your testimony, if you have the time?
Wow, man. Like I was just
because I want to know more about you personally.
Yeah, it was bro. I was just lost, bro. Super lost. I was
All of us
selling, doing drugs. I was affiliated with a lot of dudes in the street, a lot of shit like that, and I just like the story itself. I don't really want to tell it because it's just kind of too long to tell. But the bottom line is, God got my attention through some really crazy events, and like that they were unexplainable in any other way than I knew it was God. Like bottom line, and so I was like, okay, and then basically that led me to going to a church where some people prayed with me, and then that was when I gave my life to Christ, which is why Mesus means Jesus in me. That's what it means. So but that wasn't even when I picked that name. Like after that happened, I just remember waking up the next day and not being cool with Devious. Like I did not like the name. It was literally the next day.
You didn't want nothing to do with it.
I
didn't know what it meant. I never looked it up. It just sounded like a cool name. There was like skateboard shoes, Devious. I think they still exist. You know, like I was just like, because I used to skate too. I got a skateboard. You probably can barely see it's hanging on the wall. Like
you don't give me skateboarder vibes.
Huh?
You don't give me skateboarder vibes.
When I was like a little kid, it was more like it was just kind of how I got around more than anything. It was just
okay. Times is hard. No car insurance. I get you.
I did a couple little tricks, but I never got super into it. But it was just a cool name. But I never really looked it up, and there was a dictionary on the shelf that literally the day after I woke there, I looked at it. I still got it. It's downstairs in the safe. This little dictionary pocket one that said, I looked up devious and it said like deceitful, tricky. Like I didn't like it. And then the thing that really I didn't like was it was the word directly, like the very next word under devil. And I was just like, fuck that. And so I went to A just because I was in a dictionary. I just went to the beginning of it, and I came up to the name absolute. Or I came up to the word absolute, and it said pure, free from restriction, definite. And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. And so I picked that name. What's crazy is like 3 years later, I ended up getting it tattooed on my arm right here. And I don't know if you see that, but I did it like a dictionary. And my buddy had a dictionary. I had him draw it for me so I could bring it to the tattoo guy. And the definition in his dictionary was like a bigger dictionary. It was like a full, regular one. And it went on to say pure, free from restriction, definite. The first cause, which is what I ended up naming my first album that's sitting over here. And then God. It literally said God. So you figure like I had all this crazy stuff happening that led me up to like turning my life to God, gave my life, gave my life, born again, gave my life to Christ. Like, yo, I'm done with this shit. I walked away. I mean, the stuff that I was doing, I probably could have got killed for doing, like giving amounts of narcotics and things like that to people. Like, what the fuck do you mean you're done and shit? Like, so anyway, like,
Yeah. What do you mean you done? You ain't done.
No.
I said you done.
Right.
No. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
What do you mean you done?
No.
That's the reality.
No, it was crazy shit. I wasn't sure if I was, there was a couple of situations I wasn't sure how they were gonna pan out, but all that to lead up to giving my life to God, to picking literally the very next morning I wake up. I've been going by that name for like 2 years, Devious, and all of a sudden the very next morning I wake up, I don't like that. Pick absolute. And like 3 years later, when I got this tattoo, I find out that the word absolute literally means God, like in the dictionary, like it's one of the definitions. So it's like stuff like that. There's no way people can tell me, oh, it was just a weird dream you had, or it was just nah, dude. Like I know. And I went by absolute for a long time, like long time. And then, kind of, I started to feel drawn away from that. Like it was like just not what God wanted me to go by anymore. So I went by my government name for a while, my last name. And then my last name is Cosetti. So my initials are CJC. And I thought maybe that'd be kind of a dope name, like CJC, like C Jesus Christ, like CJC. And then I felt God was like pulling me in that direction, but then one day I wrote a bar on a song and I said, I'm not Jesus, I'm Mesus. I'm just trying to stand for believers who know we ain't perfect, but he is. And when I finished writing that line, I just stopped and I was like, yo, that's it. I think that's it right there. And so that was like in 2018 or 2017, even maybe when I wrote that bar, something like that. And that was it. Like after that, I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna go by that. And the first song I ever put out under that name was called Rap Jesus. Yeah, it's just been kind of it was just something that stuck, and I was like, yo, that's gonna make people feel some type of way, like one way or another. They're either gonna love it or hate it, and that's kind of the whole point of a brand, which is what your name is, or a marketing thing. It's like that's the whole point of it. Is like you don't want someone to just hear your music or hear your name or anything about you. If you're trying to like advertise yourself or put yourself out there for people to feel some type of way about, the worst thing they can do is be like, that's the worst thing. Like I would rather someone be like, this is trash. Like I would rather hear that than because it's like I still at least struck something in them enough to make them actually like feel that much about it. Plus a hater will go run and tell everybody, and more people are going to be like, and they're going to go look anyway. So, you know,
I hate this watching us too.
Max, the indifference kills though.
Yeah, there's a hate watch community that just does not make sense to me at all. Like I don't understand why people spend time like doing shit like that. But
it's like me and talk about it all the time. Me and talk about all the time. At the end of Floyd Mayweather's career, people were just watching to see him get knocked out because they just wanted to see him lose. So he had a bunch of haters watching. By the end of the day, they were still watching, and that's all
still watching.
That matters.
Yeah, no, Mayweather, yeah, that's a very great example of that for sure.
Because when you get views or you get streams, it doesn't say this is a fan or a hater. It just all counts, and it's all in the same category. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Same with McGregor. I feel like McGregor's got a lot of that hate watch now. Like
yeah. But people, I don't really think people hate on him. People for the most part, to me, I like him. I never.
A lot of people love him.
I rock with him.
Yeah.
A lot of people love him. There's way more people that love him than hate him, but I think he gets a lot of that hate watch because
he's cocky.
He's cocky, and anytime you get
confident.
Anytime you get that big, kind of that quick, I get like obviously it wasn't quick. That dude trained for his whole life.
A lot of work in. They don't see the behind the scenes.
Once you get that kind of, and you just that's natural with anyone who just literally becomes like an overnight celebrity. Which again, it's not overnight for that person. But there are some people that they literally pretty much do become overnight celebrities. Like they go from 0 to 100 type shit, and he was one of them. And so I think that there's a lot of people that just hate that just for what you said. Like they don't think about, well, this dude sacrificed everything to get there. You know, they don't look at that shit. They
don't see it.
It's like example is, let's say you and Adam would have did this album. It hit number 3. Let's say would have hit number 1, knocked Eminem off the Billboard, sits down at 3rd.
No, it hit number 1, dog.
Did it? We didn't know. Last time we seen it was number 3.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, you lead off with that.
It's not number 1 anymore, but we were on we dropped it number 1. We landed at number 1 when we first dropped. Then we were number 1 for like almost a whole day. Then it dropped down a little bit, LL and M. And then Wednesday, I want to say, and Thursday for like most of what, like for like a lot of Wednesday and a lot of Thursday, it was number 1. And then, because I went out, I was like telling people, I was walking around downtown Nashville just with headphones, like asking people, like, what you think about this? Would you, consider picking it up or whatever? Like I was just kind of having some fun with it, but it was like number 2 around dinner, because I remember we went to dinner and I checked, and it was so like, I don't know where it landed. I don't know if we're gonna get that number 1 hip hop, but man, it was competing.
It doesn't even matter. Y'all are independent artists up there competing with Eminem and LL Cool J. There's nothing more you could want in the game. I'm not gonna be mad if I lose to LL and Eminem.
Yeah. Even in the conversation is a wonderful thing.
That's a dope conversation to be in.
No, it's crazy. And LL was a cool guy. I met him. He was a very cool individual when I met him. He was very respectful and so, you know, I mean, and I don't know, but I know people that do, and you know, whatever, you know, like, so it'd be crazy it's crazy to be in that conversation independently, especially, and you know, I'm definitely grateful for, you know, I'm just glad that what matters to me is numbers don't matter at the end of the day, like stats and all that shit. What matters is the end result. Do people fuck with it? That's all. Like if people are fucking with it, then we did our job. You know what I mean? And if 5 years from now people are still like throwing this project in and still want to listen to it, that to me is a success. Even if it never even hit the damn charts. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it never even landed on the charts, then that's a W for me. So
yeah, I feel the same way you feel. When I drop a video, I never look at the numbers. I never look at none of that type of stuff, because the way I look at it, or the standpoint I'm coming from, I plan on being around for a long time. So it doesn't matter where I'm at today, right now, because 5 years from now, I still plan on doing the same thing that I do now. So to me, I just know everything is just about building, get yourself out there, letting people know who you are.
Another brick every day.
Dealing with artists like yourself, doing the interviews, just letting people that know that you're dope, letting people know who you are, letting people get the peak your personality. Because we know how algorithm work in general. It's only going to push you so much. So you just have to wait your turn. If you wait your turn and be patient, you keep putting out the work, you keep putting out dope work, and that's all that matters. And that's all I try to stand on. I don't care about the numbers. As long as I know I put dope work out, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. Well, look, they say comparison is the, what does they say, the thief of all joy.
Yeah.
And you know, when you compare, only two things happen, and neither one of them is good. You either look up and you have envy, or you look down and you have pride. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You look down at people and you're like, well, you know. So I try not to compare. Now, what I do try to do, I have learned, just like working out and stuff like that. If you pay attention to data, if you can look at it through the lens of just data, and you don't get wrapped up in any prideful shit, that's important, because that kind of gives you a pulse, you know what I'm saying, of where you're at. Am I slipping? Is this fault? Do I need to do better here? That's how you grow, is by keeping track of certain things. So
the analytics.
Fine line. It's a fine line, because you start looking at them numbers too much, and if they're doing good, you can start, man, I'm doing, you know, and if they're not, you get all, damn, man, what am I doing wrong?
The first thing I learned is like to don't get too high or get too low about anything with anything, because your opinion on what you think. Like me and Lamar was talking about the other day, some of the best songs that I thought was great music got my lowest views. But to me, this was great music.
Great music.
So it doesn't matter to me what actually the numbers that come back. It's, to me, my standing beside something that I personally thought that was dope,
something you believe in,
then it don't matter to me after that, because this is what I believe in. As a reactor, sometimes you got to react to different artists and different stuff. But to me, it's nothing more than reacting to something that I truly believed in. It's different. And a lot of times as a reactor, stuff that you really like, we say it all the time, the stuff that I really like, it get the less numbers.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And the stuff that I don't really like, man, I should have go through the moon. But I'm not going to get happy about something that I didn't like that went through the moon that I really didn't believe in. Rather than something I believe in that didn't go through the moon. Because let's say if I do a video and I believe in it, let's say if you get 200-300 views. I know it was 200-300 people that was on the same vibe that I was on, and enjoying the same thing, and I was hearing exactly what I heard. And a lot of times it's just waiting your time. Like a lot of times people come to any game, the rap game, the YouTube game, any game, they think it's supposed to be overnight. When I'm talking to you, and the first thing I actually
don't work like that.
You said you've been rapping 30 years.
Yeah.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I didn't have a career in this until a lot of people are starting to plan their retirement plan, and I didn't start getting paid off of this shit until that age. You know what I mean? Like for sure. And it's been a fucking grind, no doubt about it. But you're absolutely right, man. And you know, I think about shit kind of abstractly a lot of times, and it's like we've become so jaded by numbers, because like they're just a number on a screen, but every single one of them is a human being. And the thing is, if there was, you know, like imagine how stupid it would be, like if you were like, somebody was like, hey man, I threw an event, like I had a party or something. Man, only 300 people showed up.
Picture that.
You know how stupid you would sound if somebody said that? Like,
right.
yeah. Only 300 people showed up to my party, you know, or like
facts.
or like lives, you know, or like or followings, like, you know, how like it's very easy for me because I rub elbows with a lot of guys that are way more, you know, popular and have bigger followings. And it's way easy for me to like look at that and be like, ooh, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like 250,000, whatever, monthly listeners, 250,000 followers on YouTube. That's a city.
Yeah.
That's a city of people. St. Louis, where I was just recently living, was like it's like 300K. That's the city of St. Louis. Decides they want to actually. It's like imagine standing in front of the entire 300,000 people, be like, this ain't a lot of people. You know, like it's so stupid because we look at like, you know, The Rock. Well, The Rock has 400 million followers. I don't give like, you know what I mean? Like that's cool, but like good for him. But like it's just we are so jaded, man, because we're just like, yo, but I don't have a blue check. It's like what the fuck, like, bro? Like, why do you have so much influence and so many people are you can impact their lives and better their lives and build them up and change lives that you'll never meet. You probably never meet them. You never even get the chance to hear their story or hear what. But like that shit's crazy, bro. Like this was not a thing. This was not a thing 15 years ago. Like at all. Social media was not a thing. The only people my uncle used to tell me, you can't change the world, but you can change your block. That's all that was my mentality. You can change your block. Now it's like, bro, you could change the whole damn world by going and hitting a button. For good or bad. You know what I mean? And so it's like for me, I'm like, bro, I had to again walking with God and just under like constantly getting you know, what do they call that? Chiseled, I guess, or like, you know, trained, you know, and sometimes you gotta get disciplined, I guess, or whatever you call it, because I started when I started growing pretty quick. And then it kind of topped off for a little bit, and you know, whatever, maybe it'll grow again after this a little bit, or like whoever, whatever. But it's like you start getting like, oh man, and you start like having this little pity party. Oh, wish I was this and that. And it's like, and I feel God. Like I like have a conversation. I talk with God a lot. Like so, it's like I'm on like a. So anyways, like I don't even start by like, dear Lord. I'm just like, so anyway, you know, like and like, you know, that's how it's just a walk with me. So when I hear, like, I'll hear straight up, like not audibly like the sky parting, but like it'll be like, excuse me, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me, like because we just had nothing like 5 years ago. You want to go back to that? Is that, you know, like, and it's like you gotta really like, man, there's so much. These are responsibilities, man. Like to change the world, and it's crazy because, like I said, 15 years ago, man, you couldn't do this. The only way you could have this kind of influence was through fame, and fame came with the price that we all understand now.
Baby oil, 1,000 bottles of it.
No diddy, bro. So like, you know, it's like we have this unbelievably amazing tool called the internet / social media. And it's like you can put your message out to the world, whatever that is. That's why I always call my music with a message, because people are like, what kind of music you make? I just make music with a message, bro. Like, what kind of, I don't know, fucking listen to it, dog. It's got a message. Like,
check it out.
Right.
It ain't bullshit, you know. It's not, you know, unless I am just talking my shit, because sometimes I do that too, because I'm a rapper. But, you know,
as you should.
As you
but
should.
Yo, let's take a pause break. I gotta use the bathroom. We're gonna. I'll be right back.
He said the Henny's hitting it.
Sometimes I get my N1 bag.
Oh man, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We gotta have a couple tricks in the sleeve. That's it.
Yeah. You got, you know. But I'm learning that even too, man. You gotta be. It's if you want to have a career in something, if you want to have a career in something, a career is a job, and you have to understand that part of jobs is work, and part of work is the service. You know what I mean? And that's something for me. Music was never a service. It was a service to me. it was to help me feel better. It was therapeutic.
Yeah.
I got so good at it, you know, as humbly as I can say it, like I got good enough to have a career in it, I guess is a better way to put it, that I was like, all right, shit, man. Like, and I thought I could just keep, you know, that's cool. People want to hear that stuff, but sometimes people just want to hear like the other shit too. They want to hear like, you know, whatever, man, talk your shit records, or they want to hear my view on politics, or they want to hear my view on other things. They want to hear my view on whatever, love, you know, like it, because for me, it was literally just getting my demons out, bro. Like this was my high, writing was high, and that's dark and heavy, and it's like that's cool. That's one area where it's like people can really relate and be like, damn, I really fuck with that, man. I really appreciate that I'm not alone. I'm not the only person that deals with this or wrestles with this shit. But then, you know, like on the flip side of it, it's like people don't want to listen to that shit 24/7, 365 every damn day, because like you're almost like reinforcing that shit. It's like, man, it's cool to be, but I need some happy shit, man. Give me something happy. Give me something positive. Or give me something to like work at the gym or whatever, you know. So
I totally understand.
Welcome back, sir.
Appreciate it, man. I was holding that motherfucker.
You
were talking good. I didn't want to stop you. You had good points.
You look lighter, man. You look lighter.
I definitely got a question for you. If you was to check through your catalog,
hold on. What? I want to get situated before you start talking. But go ahead.
Okay. If you was to check through your catalog, right? Is there a specific song that describes who you are as an artist?
Christians and music spelled with a K. Music, like MUSICK.
Yeah.
Those two are like, I would say they are the best definition of what I set out to be as an artist, like what I want people to hear from me.
Yeah, it's like me. I'm able to spot a fraud from a mile away. You don't seem fraudulent. You seem authentic. Who was the artist you came up listening to that inspired you to turn you into the man that we're talking to today? Nice. That's a classic album, man.
Yeah, this over here I got like a little old school boombox.
So that's your favorite rapper is Nas?
So in a way, yes. I say Nas is like, so Nas, when Illmatic came out, like here I'll do this since we're on the phone now. I can walk with you guys.
All right.
I'll show you this real quick since we can. Why not? So this is the booth. There's my mic.
You got a booth in the crib.
Yeah.
We got a booth in the crib. We got an exclusive right here.
Yeah, I'm not. We are not playing.
Yeah. I like that.
The Illmatic.
The Biggie.
Biggie. Stillmatic. Then you got like a whole fucking NF wall. No bullshit.
Oh, you a big NF fan?
Yeah, NF's like the most recent artist I would say that I fuck with. Kanye. You got Machiavelli. I don't know what the fuck. Something fell.
He said something supposed to be there.
Eminem. That's the Eminem show, and then Black Album. Jay. Okay. So and then I got DMX over there on my keyboard.
Absolutely.
So I would say there's that First Cause album I was telling y'all about.
All right, bet.
Okay. Pre-beard means this is absolute. What else? So anyway, I would let me kill this lighter. I'm gonna get a damn headache. So bright. So yeah, Nas. So when Illmatic dropped, that was the first album that was like I'd say the first album that ever like I was like, holy shit, this dude is crazy. Like I remember seeing his videos on MTV. Yeah, and I was like, "Who the fuck?" And then I had to go get his album, and so I that was like the first artist I was like a fan of. And then when that album dropped, that was the second one. It was written, when that shit dropped, I threw it. I still wasn't even driving yet, so we had to go get it with my friend, and we were listening with the Rockford Fosgates and the Punch amps, and that shit came on the ding ding ding, and I just remember hearing that beat, and I just was like, in that moment, I remember I was sitting shotgun in the car. I mean, I remember shit like I was like today, and I just remember being like, I'm gonna rap, man. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna be a fucking rapper. Like, and I was 14 years old or some shit. And then at that age, I was like, this is what I want to be. And that there was nothing else that I wanted to be. Like, I kind of had like a hooper's dream, you know, like, oh, maybe I'll be a hooper, you know, but like it was, and I was pretty good, but you know, whatever. It wasn't like, it just didn't go that way. But there was nothing, like there was nobody could tell me anything, man. Like, I knew it was going to be something I was going to do. I just had no idea how long it was going to take or how it was going to go. But so, but like that said, like Nas is one of them artists that like every time he drops, I'm going to check it out. But again, like I said earlier, I don't really ride and like listen to a lot of music. So like there's a handful, basically the ones I showed you in my booth. That's why I put them in my booth, because like when you record yourself, I record myself. I don't have an engineer or nothing. Like I have a couple guys that I'll send it to for mixes and stuff like that. But like I record myself. It's very easy to slack is my point. It's well to let a 9 go instead of a 10. But when you're looking at classic albums and you're surrounded by people, they're like, did that motherfucker say a 9 was good enough? That is why I keep those albums. I have a ton of vinyl. It's all like in crates and shit. But like those are I specifically put those. Sometimes I'll mix them up. That's why that one was empty. I don't know. I can't remember what was up there. But sometimes like I need something else for inspiration. But Kanye's probably like my all-time favorite artist. Like I would have to say if I had to pick one, Kanye is probably my all-time favorite artist.
I can definitely respect that. Understand that. I don't know if you've seen it. Me and him was just watching the other day. Kanye on his channel, he dropped the tour. He dropped the performance of him in Korea or Japan. Was Korea? And it's like 2 hours long, and he's playing this catalog. And you can see how long his catalog and how great of an artist that he is. Ridiculous. If you didn't check that out, make sure you check it out. If you're a Kanye fan, you're definitely gonna enjoy that piece of work.
It was crazy. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying.
Go ahead. I was done.
That documentary was crazy, man. Like,
it was. I like seeing behind the scenes stuff.
I knew people in that. That's what made it crazy to me, because I'm from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So like I like knew like locations he was going to. You know,
that made it extra special.
It was like, oh man, we were this close, me and Adam. That was the same time we were working together, going to these clubs downtown Chicago and open mics and battles. And all, like we may have been in the same damn building with his ass and didn't even know.
Like, small world.
Yeah.
I mean, we were definitely around people. Like I said, there was people in that documentary. I was like, I fucking for sure know him. And there's one artist, Payroll, who's in it. He's in the documentary. His name's Payroll. He's passed away now. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But I mean, like I got his phone number in my phone still. I remember watching the documentary and I'm like, and he's one of them dudes. Like you talk about, man, talent, people die. I mean, I got another guy that's a friend of mine. He wasn't in the documentary, but you know, he's locked up doing life. You know, if he was alive, it'd be a wrap, dude. Like that's why it's just crazy how many people don't make it. So that's another reason why, like, you can't really. What is it behind me? You can see on my wall right here ish. This little thing here, you can't really tell what it is, but that's a punch clock. So I went to. I used to work at that's right outside the door of my booth. Like that's my fucking. That's because it's like I need to remember, man. Like this shit is a job. Like. That a lot of people would fucking, me included before it was, like, give everything for, you know? And I'm just like, oh, go get up, go record. Nah, bitch, like, you know what I mean? Like, work, you know what I mean? Like, there's people that would die for this shit. And So I try to keep those little things around me to make sure I remember that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a great idea. I was just talking to my friend probably a couple days ago, and it's kind of the same as them. You keep reminding me myself when you talk, but when I was talking to him, I was saying like this is like my second year. My channel about to run on 2 years of running of being with running, right? So after 6 months of doing YouTube, I ended up quitting my job because it was a job I hated. I was doing debt collection. I'm stuck in the cubicle all day, and I'm like, yo, this can't be life. Just stuck in the cubicle making phone calls. I'm like, yo, this is not it. I would call him every day and be like, yo, I hate this shit. I don't want to do this. And then I got into YouTube, and when I first started, I would say I was hungrier than a freaking kid in Somalia or something. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like almost 2 years removed from that job, and I felt like I lost some of that hunger. And I was telling my homegirl, like, yo, I think I lost some of that hunger because I forgot how much I hated that job. It was like I hated that job so much, it pushed me in YouTube. Like, I do not want to go back to the job. I don't want to get out of it. So I like the fact of how you remind yourself of punching the clock. Like, this is, I could be really punching the clock in real life. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, like, is that job still close by, or did you work?
Yeah, it's still close by. It's still up the streets. I call him right now, get that job back, but I'm never trying to call him back.
I'm saying, you know what you need to do, man, is when you feel, or maybe just do it now, just as like, not right now, but like,
don't sit in the parking lot.
End this shit. No, I was gonna do. I don't know what time you had to get up. Like, get up like your ass had to go to work tomorrow there, and just go to the parking lot and just sit there. Yeah. And then just sit there for a minute and just realize, like, I don't have to go in here. Like, I get to go. I get to go home and or where your studio's at or whatever and create. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very even with the Bible. Like, a lot of times people read these stories and they're like, "Oh, the Bible's boring." Like, the fuck it is. What are you talking about? Like, have you read it? Like, it's like it's. But people just, oh, he walked on water. Go walk on water, dog. Like, talk about this. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he did this, he did that. Like, it's like, put flesh and blood on that and then tell me that's boring. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm very big on that shit. I feel like we just let so many things jade us. The information overflow. Like, I don't touch my phone for the first hour of the day. I refuse to. Like, I will not, because it makes you a slave to the phone, first of all. Second of all, it makes you a response. It puts you in a response mindset. In other words, like, I'm a creator. I'm supposed to be. God created me to be a creator. We're all creators. You know what I'm saying? But like, if the first thing I do is go and have to react to what somebody else says, it puts me in a react mindset. Even you guys, like, what you do is reacting, but you're still a creator. Like, you're creating a product for people to like you said, you're trying to help artists get out there and whatever. And you know what I mean? It's an art. There's a thing that you guys do too. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I need to give people me, not like a response to what people like, because God forbid I go into my comment section first and I ain't prayed and I ain't, oh my gosh, bro, that's not a good, that's a good move. So we have so much shit coming at us every day from every different angle. Plus, like, forget the internet, forget that everybody's got lives. We all got, family, and we got, I don't know if got kids or whatever. We just got all that stuff, and so to me, I'm like, man, I'm very old school in a lot of ways, and I think that's a good thing, and I think the world will do to get back to a lot of that shit, like, for real. But I'm probably an old head, like the old heads when we were young. We're like, fucking old.
Right.
Yeah. Did you and Adam record this album together, or did y'all do how people do it now? Email the verses?
No. I've been at Adam's. I feel like I should just keep my phone in my hand. So there's a calendar over here on my wall, and it's like an erase one. So, but it's the last day on it that I was home was June.
Damn.
And that's not even accurate, because I left in May. I just came home for a little bit because my wife's birthday is in June. But
I was about to ask you that. How did wifey feel about you being gone that long?
man.
She understands. That's why she's wifey. She understands, and just why he married her.
She's a soldier, man. She's a soldier, dog. You know, sometimes I think she's like, you know, when I come home, she's like, "Oh, you're back already? Like, go back for another month."
Don't you hate that? I hate when they say that. You're back early. What?
Yeah.
Why you come back so early? I hate that.
No, it's funny because when I'm gone, she really, I mean, she definitely misses me, and I miss her, obviously. But like, it's funny because I was like, you know, you say you miss me so much. As soon as I get home, I feel like you just ready for me to leave immediately. Like, I mean, it's just jokes, but like, you know, like, I think sometime in May is when I first went up to Adams because he lives in Illinois, and I went. So you talking about May, June, July, August. We dropped it on pre-order, I think August 30th or something like that, or August, maybe the week before, August 23rd. I think it was August 30th though. So you're talking about basically 4 months. I was home maybe, what's that, 120 days, maybe 20 days out of that. I was home.
Damn.
You know, that's
working.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't even like, it was like I found little pockets. Like Adam had to go out of town for 2-3 days for tour. You know, same thing with Adam. Like Adam was full committed to this shit. Like it just happened to be at his house. We did the recording up at his house, but
every track.
Yeah, every track was recorded, and he's got a little like setup at his house too. So everything was recorded there, and then Drew, our engineer, he recorded it, mixed quite a bit of it. Some of it we sent out to a different guy, but yeah, man, we recorded all that in one spot, minus the features. Features were sent in, but that's the.
I love the vocals. I think it was Dusty and Caitlin. The vocals I chose to actually have on the hooks was great, especially Caitlin.
She got a voice.
Caitlin, I liked what she brought to the song. Both of them, Dusty, I can't remember the last name, but
Dusty Lee, Bubba Sparks. So Caitlin. So you guys know the song with Struggle and Caitlin called "God We Need You Now."
It's on the album, right?
No. That's their song. Struggle song with Caitlin on the chorus. If you haven't heard that,
I will have to listen to actually know. What's the name of the song?
God We Need You Now. I don't think I heard that. It's a gold record. Like it's a huge record. Like
you gotta check it out. React to it.
Yeah, go check. They got a video for it. It's a couple years old now, but you know, it's still a great record. Yeah. But so anyways, Drew, our engineer that recorded this project, he mixed that song, God We Need You Now. So when the Glass House song was originally recorded, Adam recorded the chorus. It was a little bit different as far as the lyrics, not much, barely, but just a little different. But Caitlin kind of just did a little bit different to kind of be able to sing it. Adam can sing, so I mean, like, you know, he could sing, but he did it like obviously much different than the way she did it. And Drew was like, yo, I feel like I hear Caitlin's voice on this shit, like maybe not even like in replacement, but just like maybe under yours or like in the background a little bit or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. And so we weren't even thinking necessarily at the time that Strug was going to get on it. It was more just like, you know, we weren't even really trying to get features for the project. The album was not going to have features. We were thinking much more in the line of like, if we did, it was going to be like way out of the box people that nobody would expect, like fucking Benny the Butcher or some shit, like just people that nobody would see coming, you know. And that also again, Adam just understanding like it's always purpose, you know, it's always got like a, you know, pushing the needle thing with him. Which is cool, man. That's good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that so his mindset was like, well, we already got me and you. It's 2 verses, whatever. Like, so if we're gonna put someone else on it, I wanted someone that's gonna help, that's gonna actually push this beyond my scope, right? Like Adam's already got this large audience, and so who's gonna push it to a whole different audience that nobody's gonna fucking know?
Expand your core.
And so that was where it made, you know, so I mean, again, the Tom feature is kind of the best example of that, because even though they have a couple projects together and everything like that, Tom still has a whole different fan base of his. There's people. What's crazy? Well, I don't know if there is diehards because they would have to know at this point, but like, it's just crazy how much that's just an example of how much music's out there that people still don't even know. Like, there's so many people that didn't even know me and Adam knew each other before this album, and like, we have songs together, you know what I'm saying? We have posts on our social media, not a ton, but you know, the point is, like, that's how, like, yeah, and so it's just wild that most of Adam's day ones know, because I was with him a ton during that time on tour with him and stuff like that. So, but you know, that was the thought process. So the way the other features came in the process, man, were very. Tom was like an exception as far as an artist, that like, he is someone that is in the circle, but he is actually like a larger artist than Adam. So Adam was like, well, this is gonna help in that way. Like, it ain't really gonna take us out of this lane, so to speak.
Yeah.
But he is a bigger artist that will definitely, you know, and so. But that was.
I mean, it even showed on the numbers, because people left it on my comment section. The one where Adam did $1 million in a day. That was the only one to do that. It was the one.
Oh yeah, the one.
I keep saying Tom on it.
Yeah,
he did $1 million in a day. So it just lets you know the type of impact Tom had and the type of fan base he had.
They're outside.
We just reacted to BF, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah, with him and
we saying that was $1 million in 24 hours. So we get what you're saying about Tom. And Tom.
Yeah, no, it's gonna get the, you know, and that was the launch single. So, you know, but Strug was just kind of a dope bonus, and those two together, again, like I said, ever since that song they did, which, you know, you guys should definitely check it out. People kind of look at them kind of like a team, you know, like it's. So it was that element helped that record for sure too, and then the Dusty and Bubba one was super, like, completely not planned at all. Yeah. We went to Kentucky to shoot a video, and Dusty lives out that way, and so we were out there just because we were there. Like, it wasn't even doing any music shit, and then Dusty played that hook, and Adam and I both heard it, and we're like, that's just great. Yeah, Dusty was like, yo, want it, you can have it, like, you put it on the album or whatever. He's like, just Bubba was already like gonna get on it at the time because they got an album together, so they worked together a lot. So he was like, well, Bubba was gonna, he's like, that's fine, then whatever, it's, you know, 3 verses on it, you know. And so, you know, but it was definitely, there was a very, very good chance that this album could have just been me and Adam the whole project, you know what I mean, with no collab.
Understandable.
Yeah, and I would have been cool with that too, man. So it would, because it was really just that it was more about me and my homie that I grew up with for 25 years at this point, doing music shit and everything. And it was just like, it's time, man. Like, if we ain't gonna do it now, we ain't gonna do it. Like, we gotta sit down and just make it happen.
Yeah, I'm glad that you sat down and make it happen. I seen that Adam posted a picture. It was pretty sure you've seen it. Pretty sure you follow him, but it was a picture of y'all back in the day. You feel what I'm saying? He had his son on his neck. He was a small kid. Then he posted another picture beside it where y'all grown up. His son is big as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm guessing it was his son. Did you see the picture that I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's Taylor. Yeah.
So you could tell that
picture. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, it showed how long y'all knew each other, and I thought it was a dope picture because I almost want to say he put the picture in black and white. I knew it wasn't that long ago. It had to be a black and white picture, but it just showed how long that y'all knew each other.
No,
his son is this big now. He's like a grown ass man sitting on. I don't even know how he got him on there. He looked heavy to me.
He actually he got on his back from he got on the bumper of his truck, and then he got on his shoulder.
Yeah.
that would have been a damn shitty squat, I'll tell you that. But yeah, because Taman's he's a very condensed individual. He's not like a super tall kid, but that kid he does not have a gram of fat on him, man. He is just fucking.
He's working out with y'all. What you expect?
Right.
That kid, we're working out with him at this point. Like that kid, okay. Like he, I mean, that kid is just a stormtrooper, man. But so anyway, yeah, that was a fun recreation of that picture, and we took that picture when he was, I think we took it in like 2000. He was less than a year old.
Yeah.
So I've known, you know, Adam a good minute. I bought Taman a pair of Timberland boots for he could fucking walk in them, you know. Like little fucking boots like this big. Like,
Yeah,
so yeah, we've definitely done a lot of life together, man. A lot of crazy shit.
that's dope. I heard you say that Adam liked to push the needle. I also said that you. Well, the reason I asked you like where was Adam recorded, because the last song number 10, Adam said, "I feel like I'm black, so I could say the word nigga." How did you react when you first heard that and when you said that, or did you have a conversation about that bar, song number 10?
Nah, I mean that's we both got music with that throughout our career, and
Yeah,
so it's nah. I mean, it doesn't how do I put it? It's not something that like if it was meant in a malicious way, then obviously it would be something that I'd be like, well, that's whack. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like,
Right.
yeah,
it's not. It's just I think he gets a lot more heat for that because he has a lot more followers, a lot more attention. So
yeah,
some of the songs that he's done in the past that
yeah,
address that, he's gotten some more heat, and I think every once in a while, just he likes to address things in a way, once in a while. And like we all do, if there's bars that could be a complete sidebar, I guess pun intended, where it's just literally like, by the way, this is just on my mind and I'm going to put this in a song. Like if you look at like Mirrors, right? The song, I Don't Look at My Face. A lot of that first
I
part,
don't look at my face.
a lot a lot of that song, his first
Yeah,
verse,
yeah,
he's talking about mental health and shit like this, but then he kind of like towards the end you can see he kind of goes in talking about M a little bit and aftermath, and I
Yeah.
start, and that's not like even about Eminem, it's about him saying like, bitch, I belong here. That's to the people, that's a little sidebar that
Right.
he decided to go down that
yeah,
for a second and address. So
yeah.
you go back to the part in Judas, it's like
Judas a
people
liar.
people will say things that you can't say that, or and it's like, y'all, you don't know our story, you know what I'm saying? And on
Right.
top of that, it's not coming from, anytime it's ever said, it's not coming from a racist intent. It's just
Yeah,
like, bro, I've been called that so many times in my life and said it so many times in my life back to people, and like it's just, and at the end of the day, it's just like there's I've got songs addressed in that. I got a whole album called Eracism that I just actually ended up pulling, and it's not because of that at all. It's just because
right.
all of the music is on a different project already, so I don't want to confuse people. Like, why the fuck does he have same songs on two different projects? So,
Yeah,
but it's one of them things where it's just like, at the end of the day, man, like you said, you can tell if somebody's a fraud or authentic or whatever. It's like you can tell people's intent of how they
yeah,
talk. Like
yeah,
people
Right.
can say a lot. I always say this because I get a lot of heat for cussing in music and being a Christian, and some people have given me heat about that. And I've always said, I could sit here and I could say the nicest things in the world to you, or I mean the meanest things in the world to you, and not cuss. Like I
yeah,
could be like, you are such a terrible human being, and just use this like proper grammar and articulate everything
yeah,
neatly.
yeah,
Or I could be like, yo, I fucking love you guys. You guys are fucking amazing. Keep doing your shit. Like da da da. Right? Which one is the worst thing? Like, which one is wrong? Like, if I sit here and
Right.
degrade you and say all this stuff, but I use like proper, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
anybody that looks at me and Adam and our life and our music and our body of work and hears that and thinks, oh, these guys are racist. Like you're missing. You're not getting it. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
don't, because it's like, just like my first song that broke me through called Guest, and I talked about being a guest in hip hop and all that shit. It's like, bro, I am so I don't it drives me crazy that people think like that shit. Like it drives me absolutely crazy that people think that focus so damn much on that, because that is exactly what the powers that be and all this shit want us to do, man. They
Right.
don't want us to get
divide and
along.
conquer.
And I don't mean, yes, and I don't mean us as in just me, like white guy, you guys black. Like
Everybody,
that's one little part, right? But it's
everybody.
every fucking body. They don't want
Yeah.
poor people to get along with wealthy people. They don't want middle class to get along with. They don't want nobody. They just want chaos, bro.
Yeah,
And so
What I say to that is, I say to them all the time, they want us fighting over the crumbs while they sneaking out the back door with the whole
with
damn
the
cake.
whole damn loaf. Yup.
Yeah.
We fighting over crumbs. They walking out with the cake with the icing, licking
Yep.
their finger, and we like fighting over crumbs. That's the way I best describe
No,
it.
that is a very, very, very perfect way of describing it, bro. Because I've said a lot of times the only color that they care about is green, bro. Like that's it. They don't care, and so you know.
I say they don't even care about colors. I say with them it's about bloodlines.
Oh yeah, well we can go there too, but
we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. We're gonna keep it.
We had an hour 40 right now. You got till tomorrow night or what? Like
right.
We ain't gonna go there. This video will get shadow banned and all type of stuff. We ain't gonna even do that. We want some people to check this one out. You know what I'm saying? We don't want it to get buried. We know how it works. I learned that fast in YouTube, how it works and who controls YouTube. I learned it quick. They don't waste time on letting you know who is who and what is what.
Oh yeah.
I love the you just make songs like this to get attention and da da da. Like I've spoke on a lot of things, right? The politics and all that. Do you understand how much that has destroyed my reach, has destroyed my audience, has destroyed bro, get the fuck out of it.
Like people don't understand that. Like we found out quick in the game. I think we was in there 6 months. He introduced me to a video. And we did the video. I said, yo, bro, we're gonna do this video, but this reaction, we're not gonna say anything. We're just gonna let the video play. The whole video, we did not say one word. We're just watching the reaction, right? I posted that video within 4 hours. I had a strike. And then they're so smart, they didn't even hit me for the strike of the video that I just did. It was something that was in my draft. On YouTube, you might try to put something out, they'd be like, copyrights, this can't be released. It was like one of those videos, right? So they hit me with a strike. We're hitting you because of this video was striking. I'm like, yo, this video never got released. It got 0 views. How I'm getting a strike for something that's in my draft? They said, we know. Don't waste your time responding. I said, oh well. And let me know exactly what's going on. We know, but don't waste your time responding. Again.
That's wild, bro.
And then it let me know exactly what was going on in the YouTube world quickly. Who's controlling it? Who's running it? I never had a strike before that. You know what I'm saying? Within 4 hours, it was at strike, and it was on a whole different video of my draft. And I was like,
that don't even
dumb guy.
That's crazy. That's crazy that they could strike some in the draft, bro. Like
they did.
They couldn't really hit you with we're hitting you with a strike because of this video. We never talked, we never said a word. It was just a video.
Well, I thought you were gonna say they got you a strike because you didn't talk. Because that's why a lot of times you gotta break the video up. You gotta break it up because you're allowed to do that for educational purposes or whatever it might be. You're allowed to do that, but if you just let a video ride, it's basically just copy and pasting someone else's content, and that's why I think they give people strikes for that stuff. But
I mean, it's all about learning, and then that taught me a quick lesson on what was going on and how to move in these YouTube streets. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of voices are being censored because of stuff like that. But I mean, we know what's going on. We just know how to kind of avoid it. You feel what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yeah,
you got to, man. I mean, it's bro, and it's just like I said, going back to it being a job, bro. There's certain things you gotta do at work. You know what I mean? That you just have to when you get off the job. And people be like, oh, well, you're selling out your okay. Well, no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm working. This is a job, and there's certain parameters. I'm still at the end of the day, I don't own YouTube. I don't own Facebook. I don't own Instagram. It is a place where I am able to work and do what I do. So it's can I bitch and moan about shit that I don't think is cool or right? Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change it and it doesn't control it. And if either understand that, like you just said, and grow and learn and move in a way that you can prosper in it and do what you can do, or or bitch and moan or just don't have a job in it, But it's I've just realized, okay, there's certain. Okay, cool, whatever. I mean, it's funny because, if you remember, back in the day with, MTV or, BT or all that, there was a ton of shit. We get away with way more shit on YouTube than they could have got away with on MTV. And so it's it's funny when people are, because it's I mean, this is our BET. This is our MTV. This is how we're able to do that. So we have even more freedom here. You know, so it's you know, if I gotta avoid a few things or whatever to make sure that I can have my music
out your family.
But yeah, it's just like whatever, man. I'm not, but yeah, you do gotta be careful because sometimes it's the weirdest things get. Like you said, what you just said, like I would have never thought they'd do that. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I learned quick, and it's like when you start learning what's going on, it's like these people are not gonna let you play them on their platforms.
Yeah,
on the platform, won't let nobody play me on it.
Right.
No,
right.
no, yeah, no.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't expect nothing different from these people. Definitely another question I want to ask you, like, how do your creative process go? Like, how do you create? Do you drink something? Do you smoke something? You just listen to beats? Like, how do you get from point A to listen to the beat to song late? How does that process normally go? Or is it different every time you make a track?
It is very different every time, like, because I'm just always kind of writing. That's why I said this process was very different from what I'm used to with Adam, because Adam is very like he's in album mode, and then as soon as the album's done, he's done, and he don't write. He don't write until it's like album time.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always writing, like always every day I'm jotting something down because it's just like I don't know. That's the difference in me and him. I'm very when I'm driving, like I said, I'm always like, I mean, I'm not always listening to beats, but if I'm gonna listen, like a lot of times I listen to. I mean, sometimes I got a Bible app and I'll just listen to the Bible while I'm driving, or just if I have like I do a lot of long trips and stuff. So like, or I'll listen to YouTube, I'll listen to reactions, or I'll listen to, you know, stuff that I save for later to watch on my YouTube. You know, I like watching a lot of like educational stuff that I can like, again, better myself from. And so if I'm not doing that kind of stuff and I'm not on a phone call or whatever, then if I'm in my truck, I'm usually writing something, you know, like, and I'm just listening and I just put it together in my head. And then, you know, at some point, I'll jot it down, like I'll do a voice memo of it or whatever I got to do to make sure I don't forget it. But and I mean, I'm on the phone, so I can't really show you, but I have like just hundreds of just like started songs, finished like songs that are completely wrote that I haven't recorded yet. I have hundreds, definitely, of songs that I have recorded that I haven't released yet. Like, so it's a very different process as far as creating from what we did on this album than what I normally do. I'm working on like 4 different albums right now, like all at once, and it's like I kind of just my albums are more like a book, like how you were just saying, like the album sounds like something you just put in. It's just something to put in there and just ride, man, and it's just. You know, just have some heat. There's depth to it, and there's depth to the lyrics. But my point is, like, whereas me, I'm trying to tell a story. Like the album I said, like Eracism. That I called it that because you know it's erase racism, and every single song on that project has some sort of theme around that, and so it's kind of almost like a book, and like every song is like a chapter. You know what I'm saying? Like, every song is a chapter in that book. That's more how I put albums together.
Okay.
I don't drop that project until that book is finished being wrote. So it might be, you know, I might start on one right now. Like I have one called Saint Mesus I'm working on. I have another one called Rap Jesus. I have another one called I might call Gospel or The Gospel or Gospel. And then I have another like kind of like feature collab project that I'm doing that I'm like, that's the roughest draft one of all of them that I got. But like those other ones are like I don't know which one's gonna drop next. You know, I got another one called Patriot Music, like which is probably the one that's gonna drop next because that was like the closest to being done before Adam started working on our project. But you know, it's very whereas like I said, Adam's just like. We didn't even have a name for the album. You heard I just have all these names already, like for these albums, you know. And we didn't even have a name for the album until like halfway through the album. And we're like, we gotta come.
So where the hell did Pale Horse come from? I still don't know where that came from.
we just kind of went back and forth with a bunch of different names. We were just trying to find something. Like the first one I threw out there was Loyalty. And, you know, we ended up going from that to just, I mean, man, I don't even remember. We kind of just sat down one day and we just started like writing down a bunch of different names and then process of elimination. And then I think I ended up saying White Horse because for a few different reasons, but one of them is there's a bar in our town, like where we both were from, that it's just a little hole in the wall dive, but it was just like a little piece. I was trying to find something that was like a piece of where we're from, our hometown, or something, something that just represented us, which is the loyalty thing, our story, shit like that. So I was kind of like going to that, but somehow I said Pale Horse, and White Horse, and he said, "What about Pale Horse?" And I was like, I don't know, you know, because I'd never heard that before. And it's funny because I'm the Bible guy. I'm the guy that literally has
the 4 horsemen.
Red cover to cover, yeah, and I knew red, black, and the white horse, but I never. I mean, I don't want to say I never heard it. I'm sure I heard it because I've read Revelation, but it just didn't. And then he's like, "Wait," that's when Adam was like, "Wait, isn't it in the Bible or something?" He's like, "Oh, you should know, right?" And I was just like,
"Right." I can hear him saying it. I can hear him saying it.
You should know. You should know, right?
And I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't have the entire Bible memorized, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean."
When his phone died.
Oh man,
I got pissed.
I think we're back. No.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Shorty.
Yeah, we lost him. All right, we at like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, 150.
So yeah, about that. Oh yeah, all right, yeah, you can see it.
So we can get a good breakdown. Trey ran to the restroom again.
All right. So you might want to try to wrap it up because he's not there. We have the free version of StreamYard, and the amount of recording time is limited.
Okay.
All right.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we want to wrap it up before it hit 2 hours. Is what you're getting at?
Yeah, I don't know what the exact number is, but I'm getting a little nervous.
Okay.
All right. All right, he's back. So let me bring you back in.
Okay.
I had a call. Sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody called. I canceled it, but it still, for whatever reason, disconnected us.
Okay.
All right.
You said for the stream.
All right, hold on. Let me come back out. All right.
Yeah, we're about to just ask 2 more questions. We're gonna wrap it up because we got other.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
All that type of stuff. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, I forgot the question.
I got one. Where did the inspiration for the album art come from?
That was Adam came up with the kind of vision for that. We just wanted something. I'd love to give you some super deep reason, but it was really kind of just like, yo, we, you know, like I said, Adam kind of had, he's like, what do you think about like our faces, and they're kind of torn and battered and shit. And I was just like, yeah, you know, and then we just it just developed from there. But, you know, just I like the idea because it's, again, man, getting back to the Pale Horse thing, it was like, you know, the verse says hell followed with it, you know, and it's like we've been through hell through this shit, you know. We've been through a lot of that shit together and separately and individually on our own paths and shit. So it's like, and then also like we wanted to bring that rap shit, like just come with like bars, like really raise the bar, like so the judgment of that horse coming in is kind of like us kind of doing that, like, hey, we're coming, like we're raising the standard here, you know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of the you know, just the mentality. So, but the cover art was, again, Adam kind of said that, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool. I fuck with that. And then we just took some pictures, and then we went in the, you know, backyard and just beat the shit out of each other a little bit. And then I was just kidding. But you got to be committed, man. 100%, man. You can't make it. No. But we didn't put makeup on, by the way, either. That was digital.
Right.
Next question I definitely got to ask you. I hear it comes up a lot with white rappers and being under the shadow of Eminem. What is that like? Trying to be a rapper, a white rapper, and Eminem has done what he done. It seems like people, it's hard to get out of the shadow. How do you feel about that, and how people talk about that?
Who are you talking about?
Eminem, his shadow.
Who's
the
that?
Yes, you know who it is.
When I first got on the scene in Chicago, and me and Adam both went on the scene, that was literally like right around the same time Eminem was like super, super popular, because we started going to open mics in like 2000, 2001. I mean, it's literally like right at the peak of M becoming like just a fucking icon.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, man, it had nothing. I've been rapping since I was 13 years old. So I was rapping before. The first white rapper that I knew of, rappers, was House of Pain.
Okay.
Like,
right.
Yeah, I so it was like, and I had other friends that I knew that were white and rap too, you know. So like, to me, it was not like this, like, it was not like this, I'll finally be accepted shit, you know, or something like that. When Eminem blew up, I was just kind of like, dope. You know what I mean? Like, I remember seeing Slim Shady and being more like kind of confused than anything. I was like, is this a joke or is it serious, you know? Because it was like, I mean, the video was so goofy and shit, but I mean, obviously I'm a rapper. I understand like what's good and what's not. And I'm like, well, he's rapping his ass off, but is this just like a fucking Weird Al Yankovic guy or something? Like, and then, you know, obviously he drops a couple more records. You hear the album drops and everybody loses their fucking mind. So obviously I'm gonna check it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. But like songs on the Slim Shady album, the first one he dropped, that I don't remember even the name of the song, but he had like a song that was called, like, basically it was like something to the effect like, if I had $1 million or something like that, or he did like this song about being broke. Like, there was a song about being broke, and that was the song that I remember that I resonated. All the other shit was like, I was like, yo, that's cool, but it's like so out there, and again, he's a great artist, but you know, so you fast forward to a few more years, and me and Adam are on the scene as far as going to these local things, and we're in battles. So of course, and then you know, not only is he white, but he was you know, 8 Mile, like the battle rap album and all that, and battle rap movie and shit. So like, when I went to battles, that's all I heard was B Rabbit and Eminem and you know, whatever insultful way you could spin that towards me was all that. But it was kind of like a double-edged sword, because it was like, okay, cool, but like I knew it was coming. Like, so I already had like so many like retorts back in my bag already, because it was so and it was also kind of like almost like, it was almost like expected. Like, it's like if somebody's real overweight or something, like you already know you're gonna like bag on this dude being overweight, so it's like it doesn't hit as hard. So it almost like was like an advantage to me. I took it as an advantage, and like I won a ton of battles on the city side, like doing stuff. All like I got really like into that, and so it did not impact me. It does not impact me. I don't like sit down and, you know, I don't have like a WWE bracelet, or what would Eminem do, WWE. Like I definitely, you know, just like the other people on the wall that I got here, like there's some artists that definitely, when they drop, I pay attention, just because it's like I am, you know, inspired to an extent by the caliber of what they bring and their creativity. Like a guy like Joyner is another guy that recently
Lucas,
it's a problem.
His creativity.
Credit.
I have a ton of what I am drawn and gravitated to be a fan of is if somebody's creative and does it in a talented way. Now, Eminem is that. So Eminem is now Eminem could have been black, and if he'd made the exact same music that he made, obviously he would have probably changed some of his lines or whatever. But for the most part, if he'd have made the same shit he made and he was black, I still would have been like, damn, this motherfucker's dope. You know what I mean? And same shit. Like that never really, but I get that it is a thing that a lot of people from the outside looking in might take into account. But for me, I don't really, to me, Eminem, it would have been the same, like we just dropped this album. It would have been the same, like, damn, that's fucking crazy if it was Jay-Z that was #1 and we knocked him out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I didn't even say Nas. I said Jay, or like Kanye. You know, Nas, like with all due respect, he's not like he's not super relevant. Like he's gonna do his numbers to his fan base, and he's got a core, and like they will never go anywhere. They are Nas to the death, and he's got that, and they're not but he's not like a super relevant art, and he's just kind of a laid back dude. You don't hear a lot about him in the public eye and shit like that. And that's cool. But Jay-Z is not. Like Jay-Z is Jay-Z. He's all over the place. And if he's gonna go #1, and Nas would probably go #1. I'm not saying he would, but I'm saying like it would be crazy to have knocked Kanye out of #1. It would have been crazy to knock Jay-Z out of #1. And yeah, it was crazy to knock M out of #1. But like that's where it stops. Like for me, it's not really, there isn't really a shadow for me. Like, other people may have that, perception on me. But people have a million perceptions about me. People see this big fucking beard and think all sorts of shit. People, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be a million, perceptions. So I had to get through that, and I got through that 20 something years ago. So so it never really, that's kind of like way long since it's been in my rear view. But but then like that guest shit resurfaced it for me, honestly, man.
What guest shit?
The guest shit with Nick Cannon, and have you ever heard my song Guest?
I haven't heard it yet.
Okay,
so I
gotta check it out.
So Guest is the song that actually like broke me onto the whole like YouTube scene and all that. I dropped it in December of 2019. It was when
we wasn't reacting.
It was when Nick took a shot at Eminem back then. If you remember, he posted on World Star and it went all over the place.
do remember that.
Yeah. I think it was called The Invitation or something like that. But the thing is, what most, like a lot of people know about me now, especially the people that found me back then, which is again, I had 672 subs. I remember exactly. 672 subs, dropped the song, which has a story to it. But like point is, when I dropped the song, I went like trending, and I went from 672 subs to like in a month between that and another song I put out, I had over like 30-something thousand subs in like a month. Like that was the start. And so, but like I knew Nick Cannon's people very well since like over 10 years. For more than 10 years, I knew Nick Cannon's people. I've been to his studio. I'd never met Nick personally, but I've literally seen text messages from him to his producer that I know, that like his producer had sent songs that me and him worked on. And he's like, yo, that shit's fire. And da da da. He put me on this little collab project. It was like an indie thing that he did with like artists that none of y'all have ever heard of probably or anything. It was just a little thing he was like dabbling with. I was on a project like that. So he knows who I was. And so when he was on DJ Vlad and he was asked what he thought about white people being guests in hip hop, and he was like, oh well, yeah, I agree with that shit. I was like, the fuck? And it pissed me off because like, first of all, it just pissed me off. Second of all, it's like, motherfucker, I've been in your studio like 100 times. Like this what the fuck you think of me? Oh, you're pretty good for a white guy or whatever the fuck. And I was just like, I was like, that's fucking lame, bro. And it pissed me off to the point that I wrote a song about it called Guest. And again, that was back when I was working on the Racism project. And it was that was in October of 2019. And I just put it as another chapter in the book. Like I said, it wasn't supposed to be a single or nothing. It was just like something I was speaking on. I just left it there. And because I just seen an interview, but then he dropped that song and it was on World Star and it started going like nuts. And I said,
World Star.
and I said to one of my homies, the videography, I said, yo, I think I should shoot a video of this. I'd never edited one of my own videos before. I said, if you shoot it, I'll edit it. So we put it together and I edited. I stayed up for like 40 hours straight, like just didn't. All I said was, how do you cut it? That's what I said. Like, how do you?
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
And he was like, this little blade thing here, and I said, leave me alone.
I got it.
And I just edited the shit out the video. Passed out on the floor. I literally uploaded. I didn't know anything about upload times, and I have to this day I couldn't tell you what damn time I uploaded. I have no idea, but I uploaded it.
Yeah.
Passed out. Woke up and it was trending, and I was like,
Damn.
I was like, oh shit, I think I did something. And then like,
we made it.
I did a thing.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying is I kind of relived it. What happened is I got a ton of reactors, all the react. Like that's what I mean. When I first started, I didn't even know what reactors were. All these people reacting, songs going crazy, and then like I start watching some of these, and I start reading some of the comments. I start reading some of the comments on the actual video, and people are calling me like a stan and shit like this. I'm a super fan that's sticking up for Eminem, and I'm like, oh fuck. I said, you guys just do not understand. So I made a song called Home because it was guests. I made a song called Home, and that was like a much more clear, direct, like, fuck you, Nick. Like, and because I wanted to make it clear, like, you know, and
I'm rocking what you did.
Yeah, and so that's what I did with that song. And it was funny because as soon as I put that song out, like literally no bullshit, less than an hour later, I think it was about 15 minutes later, Jason Crawford, who is like one of his PR director guys, called me. He's and Nick's like, you know, Nick gets that kind of like, oh, it's Nick Cannon. He's like but he's like, you know, he's a fucking, he'll go there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
This whole squad is like Bloods and shit, and that's
yeah. Well, yeah, we know.
Yeah. So
don't
one
get
of
fucked up.
so one of his homies that I still am to this day was close with was, you know, he's a Blood, and he calls me up and he's like, and I saw the caller ID and I picked it up and I said, shout out to everybody that still does this with a phone when they're talking about that, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The other generation, they don't know about that.
They go straight to the internet.
But he called me and I saw it and I said shit, here we go. And I said, man, here we go, dog. And he said, man, you know I love you, right? And I said, yeah, of course, man, I love you too. And he's like, why are you so mad at Nick? And I said right back, man, without missing a beat, I said, why is he being a racist piece of shit, man? And Jason said, he said, nah, man, hold up, man, I gotta tell you. And so he starts breaking down this whole thing about him and M and how he just wants to beat the shit out of M, basically. And ever since the shit with him and Mariah, he's never had like closure with this shit because M keeps kind of pushing the envelope and poking like he keeps being Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So like, so he's like, he wants blood, like he wants to beat his ass. And so he's like, no, man, he's just, you know, I like, if you about to get in a fight and you don't want to throw the first punch.
Yeah.
You know, but you want it to go down. So you're trying to say the most disrespectful shit you can possibly think of. He's like, that's what he's doing. I'm like, cool, respect. I said, but this motherfucker is including every white person on earth when he's doing that, or at least every white rapper, you know, because he was starting to say shit like white devil and all shit, like just straight up, just not cool shit. And I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. And I get it from your perspective. So I'm not tripping. And I actually was going to go out there and sit down with Nick because I was going to California for a homie's
wedding. That would have been dope.
I was going to a homie's wedding and Jason was going to set it up. I was like, man, look, if whatever. He's like, do you want to talk to him? I was like, shit, let's get it. And like, and I go out there and I'm for my friend's wedding and I'm coordinating with Jason and Jason calls. When I finally talk to him, he's like, man, I don't know what I got. He's like, well, you don't want to be a mile from me, bro. And this was 2020, January of 2020. So he had COVID, like before anybody knew
what COVID was,
what it was, like, because it was still so early on. But I guarantee, because he's explaining. I remember what he was explaining, and now I'm looking back, oh, that's what he had. So you know, we never ended up sitting down to talk. And I don't know, maybe tempers would have been so high at the point. Maybe that was a good thing because it might not have gone as a conversation, it might turn into something worse. But, you know, I doubt it. You know, I doubt it would have. But, you know, I'm usually a pretty, you know, level-headed person, man. I mean, I don't know. It might have. But, yeah, it's just crazy how that all, like, came out of – and I forgot what you said that made me think of that, to be honest. but now you know a little backstory behind that. And honestly, there's a third song that called Black and White because it was like the first one. It was just addressing like the situation, my thoughts on it, and I never even thought it was gonna be a song I dropped or a single or nothing. And then when I got called to stand shit, oh, okay, that was kind of what the Eminem question you had. Yeah. I addressed kind of that. And then I did a song called Black and White, which was like, it didn't end up dropping with a video to it for like over a year and a half later. And which was horrible because if it had dropped then, that record is still got a lot of love, still got a lot of views and everything. Right. And that's like the best one out of the three, even though it doesn't have, but if I would have dropped that from like a hip hop perspective, in my opinion, like, but, because that one, like, especially on the last verse, I say, like, man, I'm like, fuck all this shit. I'm done with this. Like, I don't care about this. I'm getting back to the shit that I love to do. Yeah. If it's fuck me, then it's fuck you too. You know, you got guns, I got guns too. Like, fuck you. Like, whatever. I'm just like, whatever, man. But I'm just like moving
whatever
on.
You want, I'm on.
I'm not trying to be on this, like, fucking, this is not what I was trying to make it. You know what I mean? And I was trying to move on, but I ended up dropping that song so much later. But if I would have put that out right when I was fire hot, bro. Like I went from
the room up.
That video, knowing how YouTube works, knowing how shit is. I mean, that would be at least 5 million.
Pick the room up.
Yeah, it would have been 5 mil or more. Like no doubt about it. Like which at the end of the day, numbers it ain't really a thing. But like just little mistakes that I made along the way that I was talking about earlier. Like I'm learning how to like not make those mistakes again, you know, because I had it for a minute. I had a lot, but you know, that comes and goes, man. I feel like right now I'm kind of in a similar situation. I'm getting a lot of more eyes and ears, you know, on what I'm doing again. So I'm grateful for it, and I hope that I just take it and just keep growing, you know, and show people what I'm about, man, and not make the same mistakes.
The way I look at it is, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to continue to grow. Reaching out to people, trying to get yourself out there. That speaks about your work ethic. From what I've seen, it showed me a lot when you hit me up. Like, he gets it. He's trying to put the work in, and that's what it's all about. Just putting the work in. Me and him say every day. We call it just laying a brick. If you lay a brick every day, sooner or later you're gonna have a whole fucking wall, and that's how we just look at it. And that's obviously the way you look at it. We've been in this interview for over 2 hours. I'm asked the final question. We're gonna wrap it up. You ended the album with a race. With a song that had a little race bar in there. So we're going to end it with that. My question to you and Adam, I know you hear this all the time. How do you feel when people try to say that you're pretending to be black because the way you rap, the way you dress, the way you talk, you're aggressive? I know you hear it all the time. How do y'all feel about that? And how do y'all deal about that? I'm pretty sure you brush it off. But
you
how do you
see it right here, dog. I laughed as you asked it, bro. Like, I'm just who I am, dog. I'm a fucking human being. I mean, how about this? I'm part Sicilian, which means I am part black. There you go. How about that? That's for everybody who has like, but I mean, dog, we're all fucking human, dog. Like,
all trying to make it.
Look, I feel like people. So I seen a meme yesterday, and it said it was like a black guy on one side, and he was saying, "You've never been judged because of the color of your skin." And it was a white guy on the other side, and the white guy, the words just said, "I just was." Like people, I swear, I am. God knows way better than I do. So like, I don't think God made a mistake by any means. But like, I wish we were all just like transparent. Like we didn't have a color. Because it's so stupid. But we find another reason to fucking argue. We'd find another reason.
Longer than mine. I don't like
So, but I mean, without going down some crazy rabbit trail or getting off that, at the end of the day, dog, I don't give a shit about that, dog. Like I am me. I am the same person in this interview that you will meet in person. I'm the same person in my music that you will meet in person. Like, and we're all people, and again, that doesn't mean we all have emotions and change it from day to day. You know, like some people say I'm an angel in some people's story and a devil in other people's, because it depends what day you met me in and what mood I was in and how shit. But anyone who thinks
about perception, like you said about the basketball, it's all about perception.
Yeah, you trying to be this or trying to be, man, I ain't trying to be shit, dude. I'm
trying to be the best me.
I'm trying to be the best me that I could be. And the race that I am is the last fucking thing on my mind, bro. It really is. It really, you know, I fell in love with hip hop music when I was a fucking kid. You know, and you know, I mean, I don't know, like, you know, I don't know why I gravitated to whatever I gravitated to the same way other people gravitate to whatever they gravitate to, but like, I've always loved basketball. I've always loved hip hop, and I've always just fucking been a very like all in type of person. So you know, I guess people could say he's trying to act and be something. Nah, I'm just who my life has created me to become, and I'm still evolving. I'm still evolving. You know, I don't know what I'll be a year from now. You know.
Yeah. I lied. I got a 2-part last question.
You're good. You're good.
Something that me and him both wanted to know. I asked both the question at the same time. The first thing is, and you can answer them both at the same time. The first thing is, can we expect the deluxe album coming out, because it's only 10 tracks? We know you got some what we call throwaways, tracks, or tracks that didn't make the album. Do y'all plan on putting out a deluxe? And the second part of the question is,
visual.
Is there any more videos coming from the album? And we'll wrap it up on that.
No and yes.
Okay.
No deluxe.
Why not? How can you already answer that? There's like, how can you already know that there's not?
I know. I just know, man. It's like I said, Adam. When he's in album mode, he's in album mode, and once that switch is off, it's off. And
so all the songs y'all created made the album. There got to be songs that didn't make the album.
No. We had like there's the first 2, 3, 4 songs, some shit like that. We tossed, man.
So you mean to tell me y'all created 14 songs and 10 made the album?
Mm-hmm. We almost tossed. We almost only had 9. I was like, we got.
That's crazy. We see albums come out with 3, 4, 6. You can do anything nowadays.
Right? But I don't. But and it's funny, the one that we were gonna get, just because we didn't want anything political on the album. So like, fucking.
Nah, you got some political. You got one political song.
That's the one that almost got.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Is we almost didn't, and it's funny because that one's
not to cut you off, but it's funny when we said that when we heard a political song, it was like, this doesn't fit with the album.
Yeah, because everything was flowing.
I think it's like 7, 8, or 9. It's like towards the end. I'm like,
right. It's number 8, and me and Adam both felt that way. And what's crazy is when we first created it, it was one of the early on songs. We were still trying to find a sound for it.
Yeah.
Probably 3rd, 4th song, something like that. And when it stands alone, but on its own as a single, say, it's hard, it's dope, and it's whatever you want to call it, you know. But like when you put it in the flow of the rest of the project, it does not necessarily fit perfectly, if you will, you know what I mean? And I mean, the production is by Trunks. Actually, Trunks did that one too. He did 3 beats on the project. That was another one he did. So it wasn't like it was just super like we put like a heavy metal song or some shit in there. Like it was like it's still there, but it was it's a little, you know, different than the rest of the project. And so that one almost, but we're like, nah, we're gonna keep it, you know. But it did end up more on towards the bottom. Not that even the bottom is whatever. I mean, there's all the. It just we tried to find a way to make it fit in there, and we didn't want to throw that one. But no, we're not gonna do a deluxe just because I just know Adam. There's no way, and I gotta get moving on to doing something solo wise, you know what I mean, and get, you know, back to work on that. And he's doing some tour shit right now, and then he's got other projects he's trying to start getting back into working on too. So no, you know, will we work together again on shit? Yeah, I mean, there'll be definitely, I would assume, at least, you know, collabs, songs and shit, you know, in the future. So that'll happen, but there's no plan for a deluxe project for this. But We do have more visuals coming for sure. Actually, the call that disconnected our conversation was the videographer that I gotta hit up so that we can get this next one shot. But we got one ready. Hopefully, that's gonna drop next week. If not, it'll be the one we might shoot Monday here. So,
and we get exclusive and know what song the video's coming out for.
I don't know, bro. I think it might be the one you said though, Judas. We might be doing one for Judas.
Judas is a lie, something like that.
Yeah, Judas the Liar. It might be that one, or might be the one you just said, the president one, because that's getting a ton of attention. So we kind of are sitting back and seeing what people are streaming and what people are gravitating towards.
My honest opinion, just looking at stuff from the outside in, I would stay away from that because that seemed like something more Tom and Adam would have did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I want y'all to stay y'all. And that was
trust me, I get it. And I've got a lot of political, and I hate even calling it that shit. But that is a political record. We're literally talking about being a president, cool, whatever. It's politics. It literally but there's a lot of stuff I've made that people have called politics. And I think
what's the crazy part? I haven't been able to get into your catalog like that, but for some of the questions I chat GPT, give me some questions to ask Mesus on about just in general. And one of the songs that came up, which is on here on the board, is like you make. Where is that question?
Let me see. Okay, yeah. Your music often deals with current state of politics in society. Where do you see the role of artists in shaping public opinion and driving change?
So that just goes to like what you're saying, that you do politics. Like we said, we just found out about you. I probably should have reacted to a song or two of yours before, but it's the difference between acting to a music video and really knowing someone's catalog and how they really giving it up out here, which we're just now learning that.
I'm saying like this, bro. I've been telling anybody who's new to my music, if you go to my YouTube, bro, go to the home page and go to the playlist. That's right there. It's called The Mission of Mesus. I made a playlist. Just start there, because if you go to my videos and you just click popular, you're gonna get fucking 10 fucking songs that are all, because it's controversial. That's why I said, I have 2 songs that I would consider actually where it is a political subject. I don't think, like we just discussed, I do not think racial issues are political issues. I think the government needs to stay the fuck out of
life issues.
Yes, I don't think my health choices that include sticking things into I don't think that is a fucking political choice or a political subject. So a lot of things that I just kind of broke onto the scene, like the whole Nick Cannon thing I just told you, right, with guests and all that. I broke onto the scene at the same time that the whole fucking world went nuts and all this shit starts happening. And I'm an artist that literally just, I've always taken the things that happen in my life or in the world around me and just put it into my music. I mean, I have songs, like I said, tons of songs I released. When 9/11 happened, I made a song about that, and it's 9 minutes and 11 seconds long. And it's about the whole day and all that stuff. And so, like, I've always spoke my mind on things that go on. To answer that question a little bit, what do I think an artist's role is in it? I mean, I don't think it's our job I think you should think for your fucking self. That's what now
everybody can't do that though.
No, and I'm not saying the person to ask that is, but like, I think you need to think for yourself, and I think it's healthy for art to reflect what's going on in the world. It's a revolving, it's a circle, man. Like art, what do they say? Like, like art is like
reflects reality.
Reflects reality, but reality reflects art too. It's like this circular thing that happens. Like, that's kind of what me. So it just happened at the time that I got popular and started to kind of make a name for myself, however you want to put that, and got onto the scene, was the same time that a lot of crazy shit was going on. And I just happened to be an outspoken person that's going to speak my mind about shit.
As you should.
And I'm doing that. And what's happening is I'm not even like a bar in Judas the Liar one of my probably personal favorite bars in the whole album. Because I know there's a lot of people that are new to me, is I said, you can fact check every bar that I write. Only mistake that I made, I ain't marketed right. That's the problem.
Hey yo, not to cut you off, but when you said that bar, I had to stop it. I paused it on that exact bar. That's why I stood out. That's why I tapped on. Because it be stuff like that that really stands out, and I like to hear the bars that make me hit the pause button, make me hit stop, make me hit rewind. That bar definitely made me do it.
That's the truth though. That's the whole point is like fucking, people care about controversy. Yeah. So that's why I say I've gotten a name kind of off of subjects that a lot of people would consider controversial. Yeah. And I didn't realize what it was doing with the algorithm and also with the like the way Spotify is set up and all this other shit. Like like the most popular shit just continues to kind of stay the most popular shit. And so in between these drops that I'm doing, like I did a song called White Sin that had to deal with the George Floyd, the day that all that happened. Yeah. And I did another song down the line called News, and it's called Never Ever Watch the Shit. And that's NEWS, Never Ever Watch the Shit. Like it's like people gravitated to these songs because I was Gates of Hell. I was talking about Bill Gates and how he's pushing the jab on everybody and all this shit. Yeah. Like all these songs, people are like, oh my gosh, or whatever. But in between that, I'm trying to like just give people like the shit that you heard on this project, just rap shit. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, cool story, man. Talk more about this. And I didn't realize, and at the same time, I have to be just completely honest. Like, I'm grateful that people are fucking with me at all, and that my career is taking off, and I'm actually able to feed my family off of this and shit. And so I'm like, it's not that I was intentionally doing it, but at the same time, I'm just like, well, I'm not gonna fucking be like ungrateful that people. And I just kept trying to point the needle like over and over and over and over again back to my just. If you want like my heart, my shit that I just wish my whole career was, if I could just pick it and it and didn't have control over the things I just said, if I did have control over that, I should say, it'd be Dear Rap. My album Dear Rap is that's just rap. Just send it. Like that's so, but like I said, if you go to my homepage and you start there, if you really want to get into my catalog and react to videos and stuff, that's a good spot to start is the Mission of Mesus. And that's my whole, like, to me, that's a way better, what's the word I'm looking for? Like description is not really the word I'm looking for, but like presentation. That's a way better presentation.
What represents you the best?
That represents who I really am, and not just like, if you look at my most popular shit, you're gonna be like, "Who this dude's like a MAGA rapper or some shit." Like because he just does a. Even though I've never had a MAGA hat on in a video in my whole life, I've been called that shit a million times. Even though I've never, you know what I mean? I have one song about Trump. I have one song about Biden. Literally, like two people that run our fucking country. I think it's okay. I can talk about that shit, but because one of them has 7 million fucking views. It's the first one that everybody goes and runs to, you know what I mean? And then it's first impression, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
same thing with us. If you go to our most popular video, it's not our most popular video between me and him. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just how it works. You got nothing to do with the algorithm when people are drawn to them, like you said. Especially in YouTube streets, the best way to get the numbers up is controversy, something talking on issues and all that. It's gonna do better than something if you just talking about real life issues and all that type of stuff. Just like I thought the song that you got with Bubba Sparks, I think that song was fire. It didn't do the views I thought it would do, but it wasn't controversial. It wasn't nothing about politics. And we know on YouTube, it definitely was. But we know on YouTube, you're figuring it out. Part of the conversation, I know you know how it works by now. Even if we was here calling each other names and stuff, this interview would have did way more views. And you get what I'm saying? Yeah. All that. All that plays a part in all of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
we still try to go that route with it to try to do what we do.
No, absolutely, man, and that's like, I'm just grateful that, like I said, man, I hope that there's enough people that kind of come on board from this new album without Adam and stuff that I can not, again, I never sought out to like do any of that shit, but it just is how life played out, and just the way things fell. But I hope that, and I got to be really clear with this, because some people hear this and they take it the wrong way and think like, oh, you changed, oh, you're ashamed to speak on things. You're gonna,
yeah.
you ain't gonna, nah, bitch. Like, I will still 100% speak my mind, but I just have understood, like, you have to be careful how you market yourself, because you know you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Basically, is the point. Like, like, for example, like, there's artists make NF. Okay, NF's got an enormous following. Never makes any political shit. Never talks about none of that, right? If NF made a song about this upcoming election, I mean, that shit would go absolutely bananas. Because I'm not telling him to do it. I don't think he would do it. I'm just saying if he did it, because he built his career, because he has an enormous platform now to do that. What people say that kills me, man. They're like, oh, you just do it to be popular and famous and for the money. Bitch, this has ruined my route up there, because now
you're not really that type of rapper at your heart.
That, and I'm constantly getting like censored and all. Like, dude, I'm on the rate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've watched. Right. So it's like, no, they're not going to censor just a normal song. They're not going to censor a song about my normal life. They're not. Now, it might not go like this, but it's just going to keep doing this. And over the long run, I work out way better than and then straight down. Because that's what they do. I've literally, you could take a ruler, you could watch a video, it was up to like 1.9 million views in like whatever, very short amount of time. And then you could take a ruler, I promise you, on the back end, you know that analytics and shit watching, you can take a ruler and just draw a straight fucking line down, and then that bitch just literally flatline. That doesn't happen naturally. That doesn't, that's not a real thing. That's somebody going in on the back end of YouTube going, fuck your song. You know what I mean? And and so it's like people think, oh, you do this for the views, you do this for the, it's like, no, I do this because this is therapeutic. I get shit off my chest and process what's going on in the world. And you guys take it and go fucking bananas over it. That's not my fault. Why don't you do that with a song where I'm talking about love, or a song where I'm talking about encouraging people, or big up people, or go get it, you know, or just it, or my mental health? Why don't you take that and fucking show the whole fucking world? Because that's not controversial, and it's not. And so people put you in that fucking box, man. And I really hope that moving forward, I can just really just not get tangled up in those fucking weeds, man. That's
do you. I mean, you've been in the game long enough. You learned a lot of stuff. We knew in the game. We're still learning. Like I said, it's probably been a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere between there. So we're still learning. So we get everything that you're saying. We're gonna wrap this interview up. I want to start by saying thanks for talking to us. Next time you speak to Adam, we would like to interview Adam also. And keep up the good work. The album was dope. We're not fake. We're not frauds. If I didn't like the album, I would tell you, bro.
I would be like, man,
I didn't like the album. I can't fake it. I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Yeah, and I would appreciate that. I'd rather that than some, fake, phony shit.
Fake-ish. It definitely was a great album, and it makes sense why the album was like that. When you went into your studio and you showed us all the different albums that was in there. All the albums he showed us is press play albums. Like, just a press play.
Every last one of them.
That was a feel that we got from the album, so it even made more sense. That's why I was glad we spoke to you. I did not want to do the interview before reacting to the album, before hearing the music, and now I'm glad that I did that, because everything makes sense. We was able to piece everything together. Is there anything you want to say before we end the interview?
I just, other than I really appreciate your guys' time too, man. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck AT&T, you know.
It's cool. We understand.
And
we definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah, I appreciate the convo, man. It was good. I feel like like the fam and shit now. So just I appreciate it, and to everybody who does watch this, and everybody. It's not live, that's right. So everybody that does watch this, not late, man. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Pale Horse, man, is the project, in case you guys missed us saying it 300 times already, man, just be on the lookout for more. But I'm just grateful for being out here, man, having the opportunity to talk about it. I'm grateful for your people interested in what I'm doing, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. Only thing I want to say to end this, next time, I know you come with a new project real soon. Next time you do, we want to do the same thing. We want to react to it, and we want to have a conversation. Because we had to end this conversation. Not like we wanted to end because you're so easy to talk to. You're so real. You're so authentic. It was easy to actually do this interview. We got a board full of questions right here. I never had to look at it one time because you're just authentic. We just said talk to you. We don't have to force feed the conversation. It's a flowing conversation. So shouts out to you. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to Independency, and we support you. And shouts out to you. Shouts out to Adam. We wish you most success in the future.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that, dog.
And today, it's your boy Trey TV, and I'm out.